The meeting of the Leon County Board of County Commissioners is called to order at 3 o'clock sharp on April 13th, 2021. Today we are honored to have Elder Lenoris McFadden, pastor of Shady Grove Primitive Baptist Church, provide the invocation. Pastor McFadden.
Good afternoon, and thank you for this opportunity. Thank you all commissioners and to Commissioner Maddox for this invitation. Let us pray. Father, we come to you today. We thank you for life, for health, for strength, for grace, and for mercy. We thank you for this opportunity to serve you in this capacity. We pray now for these county commissioners as they sit to govern and to handle the business of your county. We pray now, God, that you would give them wisdom, that you would give them guidance, that you would give them strength, that you would give them creativity and ideas to resolve the issues surrounding us. And while we have your attention, God, we pray for this country and all that is going on with the unrest that we see all over our country. God, we ask for your peace. Your word declares that if my people who are called by my name would humble themselves and pray, would seek your face, would turn from their wicked ways, then you would hear from heaven, you forgive our sins, you heal the land. We pray this today in Jesus' name. Amen in the heavens, amen in the earth.
Amen. Thank you very much, Pastor McFadden. Let's all rise for Commissioner Maddox to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Commissioner Maddox. Commissioners, as you know, we've had some suggested changes to the agenda. We are proposing to add a presentation from the Florida Association of Counties President, Melissa McKinley. We are pulling item number 5 from the consent agenda, and we are adding item number 30 to the consent agenda. Are there any objections to the agenda modifications? Seeing none, there's unanimous consent. Mr. Deputy County Administrator, welcome.
Good evening.
You look a little bit different than Vince.
A little.
We are now at awards and presentations. Mr. Rosenweig, would you please introduce the first item?
The first presentation we have this evening is from Melissa McKinley, the FACT president, who stopped by to say hello and provide an update on FACT's activities of the year.
Madam President, it's an honor and a pleasure to have you here. Thanks for coming today. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I know you all are no strangers to the Association of Counties. It's an honor to step in immediately behind Commissioner Maddox as a former president of the association. But I actually come here today to not ask you for anything. I've already hit Commissioner Welch up for getting a trailhead sign over at the Orchard Pond trailhead. But I'm just here to say thank you. I'm here to say thank you for being such active participants in the association. And for everything you do for the association staff, all of the training opportunities that you provide, and the sponsorships of our activities here, not only across the state, but here particularly in Leon County. As you know, this year has been a little bit different. We've had to do a lot of things virtually. I'm happy to tell you that our attendance has actually been very good. We've broken a few attendance records in some of our activities. But we've made it a little bit easier to participate with a lot of the virtual offerings that we've had. They are doing Webinar Wednesdays right now, which is a great training tools, training opportunities, particularly for Commissioner Cummings and Commissioner Welch as being new county commissioners, and welcome to the county family. We're happy to have you. But really, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I know that this is your home and you can go home and sleep easy while the rest of us have to come up here and sleep in your hotels. But thank you for keeping our capital city healthy and everything that you've had to do in this COVID environment. I know it hasn't been easy for you. It hasn't been easy for any local elected official. And I would say that anybody who comes out of this pandemic and pats themselves on the back and says what a fabulous job they did is probably misleading. We've all struggled. We have all struggled with the decisions that we've had to make, because we know that when we make a decision to protect somebody to keep them healthy, it means that our businesses are suffering, and trying to find the right balance without any history, without any kind of playbook has been a learning tool, learning scenario for all of us. And on behalf of your association in the 67 counties in the state of Florida, just thank you for everything you do. We have a wonderful legislative affairs team that can complement what your internal legislative affairs team is doing, and your contract lobbyists. We're coming into the final 2 to 3 weeks here of session, and we're all holding on to our hats right now, afraid of what happens in the last hours of the legislative session, and 25 plus preemption bills right now that will attack our ability to make decisions at the local level. So use us as a resource, use us as a tool. We're happy to do anything we can. As part of my presidential initiative, and I'm sure Commissioner Maddox will agree, you get elected the second vice president of this association and you think, I've got 4 years on the leadership track here. I'm going to go and visit every single county. And then you realize to try to do that, most of the counties in this state have the same commission meeting dates as I have, and I need to be in my own county commission down in Palm Beach County. So it was quite a pleasure to be able to be here before you today. This is the 10th county I have visited. I'm happy to say that all of those counties have been small counties. You're the first medium county that I've been to. And to see that we're all struggling with similar problems, just on a different scale, really makes this association feel like family. So I just wanted to say thank you, and thank you for giving me a few minutes of your time. I know we reached out to Alan and Vince kind of at the last minute when we realized my travel schedule would allow me to be here today. And then finally, on a personal note, thank you for taking care of my 2 kids. One of them is 21 and one is 23. They are both Leon County residents right now. I think they are in Commissioner Jackson's district, but I appreciate everything you do for them as well. So thank you.
Great. Thank you, President McKinley. And we're very proud of the leadership that Commissioner Maddox provided as president of the Florida Association of Counties, and to see you take the reins and with your incredible team and staff at FAC, we're people in Leon County and across the state are well served by you and the team that you have. So thanks so much for everything you do, and thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and they were certainly big shoes, literally and figuratively to fill. Thank you, Commissioner Maddox.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Chair, if I might, she's done more than just take the reins. She's taken it to a different level. A lot of you commissioners don't get an opportunity to be involved in them, but we've met with how many associations now at this point as executive committee? About 6 different associations, from realtors to the Sheriff's Association, so many more, and had productive conversations about how what we do impact what they do and how what they do impact what we do on the executive level. It's been very good. It's been very good for us to hear their issues and them to hear ours, and us to connect in that way. And I'm hoping it's something that President McKinley has started, that the next president, which will be Commissioner Ralph Thomas from McCullough, will continue to do for our association. So again, she's not just stepped in those shoes, she's actually taken them to a different level. And I appreciate the hard work that you've put in, leading through a pandemic, not the end of your presidency, but the whole presidency, in the way you've done it. And I'm proud to say that I handed the mantle over to you, and that you've done an amazing job. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Maddox. Any other comments? Commissioner Dozier.
Just quickly, not to repeat, but President McKinley, thank you for joining us today. And this has been an extraordinary year for your presidency. Normally, we get to interact with our FAC president and leadership a lot more at the conferences, and really felt a loss this year because we get so much work done and learn so much from each other. But you did note the virtual programs and other things that FAC has developed this year that have kept us engaged. And I just wanted to give a shout out to Studio 67. You can think about that for a second. You know why the 67's in there for the counties. Davin Suggs, the legislative team, it's a weekly podcast on what has happened this week in session. They've done an exceptional job, and it's a lot of fun to listen to. So keeping us up to date in new ways, and I think some of those things will continue. Certainly, the Institute for County Government Board works closely with the FAC Board, of course, and we've got some great things going on. So thank you for your leadership.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner Dozier. Commissioner Welch.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. President McKinley, I just wanted to say thank you. I'm sure Commissioner Cummings and I share the sentiment that FAC has been a great resource to us as new commissioners. We kind of up here in Little Leon County, and you guys have really helped us understand the sort of, the bigger ship is moving in one direction and trying to protect home rule across the street and all the stuff that you guys do. But I think really just helping us understand the scale and scope of the state's interests and how we as Leon County Commissioners fit into the big picture. So thank you very much.
Commissioner Welch, if I may, I would never say Little Leon County. I know I come from one of the big 12, 1.5 million people, almost a $5 billion budget. My sheriff's office is $700 million of our budget. But as I have attended commission meetings in Charlotte County, in Hendry, and Okeechobee, over Jefferson County, all of our problems are pretty similar. They're just on a different scale. And you are the home of the state capital, and so you are so much more than Little Leon. You're a big county, very important to the association.
Great. Thank you so much, Madam President. It's good to have you here. Thank you. Mr. Deputy County Administrator, will you please introduce the next presentation?
Yes, sir. This evening, Commissioners, we're going to hear a progress update on our urgent and targeted outreach and vaccinations for communities of color. And following that presentation, we'll have our normal update from Claudia Blackburn on our public health matters related to COVID-19. So following a few brief comments from myself, you're going to see presenting digitally are Matt Cavell from Leon County, of course, Dr. Elaine Bryant with our local coronavirus task force, Dr. Temple Robinson with Bond Community Health Center, Janae Freeman with Neighborhood Medical Center, and of course, Claudia Blackburn. As you recall, Commissioners, at your January meeting, the board approved the county working closely with the coronavirus task force to launch the Safe and Healthy Big Bend initiative. Your direction in January made us one of the leading counties in the state in decreasing vaccine hesitancy and increasing access. However, the vaccine disparity in communities of color has only grown. Consistent across the state and the nation, Black and brown communities are being vaccinated at an alarmingly low rate for many different reasons, from education to simple logistics and transportation. Therefore, at just your last meeting in January, the board approved a game-changing investment of $500,000 to engage, educate, and vaccinate communities of color. With that funding, Commissioners, the county, spearheaded by Dr. Bryant and Reverend Holmes, will be the first to tell you, is a nationwide model. Door-to-door outreach, leveraging community influencers, bus transportation to get shots, public information in every possible way, and more. And of course, I'll let the experts share the specifics, but we've seen unprecedented progress with this initiative in just about a month. 1,000 vaccinated at pop-up clinics, with 1,000 more households directly touched by community. Progress like this, of course, is a credit to the county's around-the-clock pandemic activation, now nearly 4.
To coordinate and catalyze the community-wide effort on this urgent need to reach minority communities. But it's a twin effort. It's a twin effort that has two elements, which is to increase access to the vaccine while also decreasing hesitancy towards the vaccine through education. Both of those elements are incredibly important because if you decide you want to receive the COVID-19 vaccine but have no access, you are stuck. If you decide that you have too many concerns to get the vaccine, that if we were to put a pop-up vaccination clinic in your living room, it wouldn't do anyone any good. So we know that this is a double effort that dovetails consistently with the county's ongoing COVID-19 coordination efforts, which have been the countywide effort to coordinate 10,000 plus calls, to build surge plans for healthcare institutions, to distribute PPE and face coverings, and to share and develop critical public health messages. So it just made sense, the board's action in March, to invest in the county's catalytic effort in this public health effort with the partners you see with me on screen, Dr. Elaine Bryant, Janae Freeman, Dr. Temple Robinson, and Claudia Blackburn. Now, quick update on some numbers just hot off the presses using Sachs Media Group and the Florida Department of Health. This big number and effort to decrease hesitancy has since December of last year, 2020, led to a significant decrease in hesitancy to get the vaccine. Out of those folks that are concerned, through some survey efforts here locally, if you were concerned in December, you are now 50%, we have 50% less folks who are hesitant to receive the vaccine if they have a concern. So we're moving that needle down, which translates to 20% overall desire to receive the vaccine increase since December of last year. And that's not by mistake. That's from the effort of the folks that you see in front of you on the screen today, as well as the county-led effort that began in January and really hit stride with the board's approved investment of $500,000 in March. So since that board meeting in March, We have, in about 1 month, through the effort of Dr. Elaine Bryant and the partners you see, been able to double the amount of vaccination numbers in the African American community. To be able to take that number from just about 7,000 to just about 14,000, which is a significant increase, but still, as the Deputy County Administrator has outlined, shows a disparity in the vaccination numbers in the community. That means that while our work is effective, our work is not yet done. So how does all this happen? So I'll pass it off to the experts because we're truly, again, the convener and catalyzer behind this, but the folks that are in the trenches are the brain trust that you see around on the call now, but they're not just a brain trust, they're an elbow grease trust as well. As Dr. Robinson or Janae or Elaine will be the first to tell you, they are the first ones to offer to give folks rides, to set up solutions, and to get out into the community to vaccinate and decrease hesitancy. So while we have some of the best minds here, we're leveraging also some of the most effective people in the community to address this public health effort. But how are we also doing that countywide? So our organization, as you know, has been committing paramedics to the vaccination effort with FDOH since December of last year. But we also have had paramedics in the field partnering with Neighborhood and Bond to vaccinate. But we've also leveraged our technology capabilities by loaning technology and iPads to the canvassers that Dr. Elaine Bryant uses to be able to engage folks where they live and address their concerns. We've also made formulated and targeted geographic maps for canvassing so that the time is spent effectively reaching unmet needs in communities to really help increase access and decrease hesitancy. We've also leveraged trusted voices in our community marketing plans. We have also engaged public health voices, and we've also engaged even our public works folks and teams to drop cones, direct traffic, and manage the process at pop-up vaccination clinics all across the community. So it is a county-wide led effort with a lot of the efforts and genius of the folks that you see on the screen, and it involves every bit of our organization, in addition to the funding that the board has put forward to vaccinate and educate. So now we're going to pass it off to Dr. Elaine Bryant, who's going to talk very specifically about how she had set an ambitious goal to reach thousands of households directly to educate them, and how she has partnered with Neighborhood and Bond to bring pop-up vaccination clinics to communities. Again, back to that twin effort of increasing access, but decreasing hesitancy to the vaccine as well. Because as we get more vaccine in the community, there will be a need to continue to educate and address concerns head on. With that, I'll pass it off to Dr. Elaine Bryant for a brief update of the work of the local task force, and then we'll move on from there to Dr. Temple Robinson, then Janae, then conclude with Claudia. Dr. Bryant?
Thank you so much, Matt. Let me start by saying thank you to the commission. I really want to extend personal thanks on behalf of the Community Education and Engagement Task Force. And I had some notes here, but Matt obviously stole all my notes and gave the presentation. But what I can say, though, without shadow of doubt, and I'm going to be brief, but I really want to and want you to know how much Mr. Cavell has really thrown himself into providing everything that we need in order to be as successful as we have been in less than a month. And I'll just give you some quick updates, and I'm also available if you have questions when we get to that point. But thank you to the city commissioner. Thank you to the county administrator. I said city commission, didn't I? I'm just, oh man, I got to shake it off. To the county commission and to our county administrator. We started about a month ago on March 18th. And that was at a virtual town hall meeting with the faith community to address vaccine hesitancy. And in that particular town hall, we had opportunity to hear from pharmacists and from the medical profession. But most importantly, we had opportunity to hear from persons in the community that were part of our faith-based community to ask questions, and not just to listen, but to be able to have questions answered. That was very, very telling as it relates to why people are hesitant and what people are saying in the community. It's good when I hear it as anecdotal data, but when you hear it from the people themselves, you know exactly what you're dealing with. So we were able to, I think it was over 50 people on that particular town hall, which was our first one. We were just getting started. And since then, just in summary level, under our neighborhood and community outreach, we've done 2 in 1 month. We have been over in the Frenchtown area, and we've done canvassing in Woodville as well as the Callan Providence area. We have looked at areas of unmet needs, and that's where we start our canvassing and our planning for between now and mid-June, this 90-day engagement. We had as a goal in the entire contract really to reach about 10,000 households. And so far in the first month, we are well over 5,000. So we didn't know really when we got started how important it is, but how available people are to listen to information about the vaccine, being able to answer questions, and then invite them to come in their neighborhood and get a vaccine shot. That has been really very telling. And we've done a pop-up breakfast right there in the middle of a neighborhood where people just show up, and we use our time to do a health clinic of sorts to share information, answer questions right where people are. So that will continue, and I'll tell you in a minute that the upcoming dates, but we also just yesterday really finalized our mini grants. We thought it would be very important if we could engage communities where they are, faith-based and community-based organizations to help us in their neighborhood, in their church space, with their youth on what are the issues and how can we decrease hesitancy and increase opportunities to actually get the vaccine. Now, we wondered, we put in 25 grants, but we wondered, would we have 25 organizations step up to the plate? So just so you know, when we closed it out in a very short window of maybe a week, if it was a week, we had over 100 applications, from which we will take 25 and actually provide them opportunity to do exactly what they said in their plan that they wanted to do. Other upcoming initiatives, and I know I was told I had 1 minute, I'm over, but on April 24th, we'll be in the Mission Tharp area. On April 25th, we will be having a virtual youth town hall in conjunction with Leon County Schools and Southside Rotary. And we're trying to, as we move forward, engage as many community personnel, community neighborhoods to invest in the process such that they can own it. It's one thing to talk from the outside, it's something else to be a part of it. So that will be on April 25th. And we will be kicking off our work in Fort Braden, Greater Bond. Well, Fort Braden is May 8th. Greater Bond is May 15th. Bradfordville is May 22nd. And South City is May 29th. And then we'll be very close to ending this phase of the contract. But it has been, in many ways, as rewarding to those of us who are working as to those whose lives we have touched. And there are many stories that could be told. But just know this is a great investment. And from where I sit, trying to lead this initiative, I think that we are seeing results. So thank you again. Thank you to staff and to our county commissioners. Thank you, Mr. Cavell.
Thank you, Dr. Bryant. And for those of you who are feverishly taking notes of those dates, all dates as they get finalized are included in your daily COVID updates, and they are clearly and presently on your Friday updates, your weekly update for COVID. So you'll get more details and all the collateral going forward. I'd like to turn over now to Dr. Robinson, followed by Janae Freeman. Dr. Robinson.
Good afternoon, commissioners. Very briefly, I just wanted to give you an update. We're very busy here at Bond, and I just want to lift my staff up to you. They're stretched beyond your imagination, but they're working very hard on behalf of the citizens of the county. As of yesterday, Bond had administered a little over 3,500 doses of vaccine. We have fully immunized close to 2,000 people. About 450 of those people were immunized with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. We've also immunized over 150 people in the homeless population. Our team has immunized those living in various assisted living facilities here in the area. And we're seeing the fruit of our efforts as far as decreasing vaccine hesitancy, because we're getting callbacks from some of these areas that we went to earlier in the year to say, can you come back? I think I'm ready now to get my vaccine. So we've gone to some assisted living facilities, and we only had half of the people that were takers, and now they're asking us to come back to give them the vaccine. When we do these vaccination efforts, they are always coupled with education. We do a little QA, we do a little hand holding, and we let them know, let the residents know that we can come back. Our team, we make house calls to do vaccines, carrying the emergency supplies that we need with us. We're using our mobile unit. We're doing pop-ups with tents. And then, of course, we're vaccinating on site in our parking lot. You know today that the Johnson & Johnson was put on pause. We had a vaccine clinic scheduled today for the homeless population. They were transported to us. We kept the ball moving with Moderna. We have plenty of that. And we will see them back either here for their second shot in 28 plus days, or we will go to the area where they're being housed. So this is what we're doing. We appreciate the opportunity to serve, but please know that all of our staffs are very stretched and very tired. The paperwork is onerous, but we're doing what we're supposed to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Freeman.
Good afternoon, commissioners. Thank you for having us and for the opportunity. I must start by saying that this partnership definitely symbolizes community engagement and collaboration. We work very well together, and we are all committed to continuing this effort. I must say that to start, it is important for us to continue to be vigilant, not only with vaccines, but testing as well. Like Dr. Robinson mentioned, we are doing vaccine clinics on a daily basis now from 9 to 5 at our Orange Avenue location. In addition to the pop-up clinics with the task force, we've done 2 of those so far, and we have other clinics that are scheduled. We are definitely seeing an increase in minorities getting the vaccine. At each of our vaccine clinics, the majority of the people we have vaccinated have been Hispanic or African American, and that is definitely our goal in this process. We are continuing to make great strides, but we're not in the clear yet. We want to make sure that people continue to socially distance, to wear masks, and continue hand hygiene. The community is very thankful for this opportunity. One woman came up to me at a vaccine event and said that she was thankful to us being there and that she could trust us to be educated and know what's best for her as it relates to her health outcomes. So to date, we have Moderna available. We did have Johnson & Johnson. Of course, we're paused on that. We are continuing to work with the Big Bend Continuum of Care to vaccinate the homeless, working with the Carney Center. And of course, we're right here in the neighborhood doing pop-up vaccine clinics. To date, we've done about 1,500 vaccines. So we're here and we're still ready to serve in the neighborhoods that we're located in. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Freeman. I'm going to pass it over to Claudia Blackburn for the final brief update, and then I'll have some remarks before turning it over to the Deputy County Administrator. Claudia.
Sure, and this is separate from the update that I'll give from the health department, but I just want to say that I couldn't ask for better community partners, and Dr. Bryant sure needs to get some rest, as does Dr. Robinson and Janae. I see them working 6 days a week out in the community. Probably the last day of the week they're working on their computers trying to catch up. So I have been fortunate enough to be able to go to the pop-up clinics and see the operation. It's huge, lots of support, very encouraging. Our role at the health department, has been to provide data on a weekly basis of where the unmet need is based on zip code, and also to provide educational material, help with outreach, do whatever needs to be done to make this a success. In addition, we've incorporated COVID education into all the outreach that we typically do through our Closing the Gap grant, our SNAP Ed grant, our Maternal Child Health grant, which is a special project that we have in Griffin Heights. We go to barber shops and beauty shops and distribute information. We participate in the farm shares, second harvest events to get information out to the community. And we have lots of partners that we work with, Bond Neighborhood, of course, MACA, Mount Olive Housing and Development, Carter's Corner, and the Wings of Dove Ministries, and many others. So it's just part of our what we do anyways in terms of outreach. We've incorporated COVID into it, same with all of our programs. So again, just I want to applaud everybody. I think this is really making a difference, and it's been a joy to be part of this.
Thank you very much, Claudia. And for just some brief remarks to conclude before passing it back again, you can't say enough about the leadership of Dr. Elaine Bryant and the other folks you see represented on the call, Dr. Robinson and Janae Freeman. There's no one that could be considered to be a dream team more than those folks who are out in the field in partnership with the county to educate as one of the most foundational elements of what we do. And increase access in the various ways in which we do it, such as engaging Star Metro to bring buses into neighborhoods to take folks to brick and mortar locations like Bond and Neighborhood, and other ways in which we decrease transportation, such as partnering with Lyft and Elder Care Services, and making sure that there is no physical barrier to receive the vaccine. As long as you've had a chance to get with many of the canvassers Dr. Elaine Bryant's team organizes that have knocked on your door and talked to you face-to-face, masked, for as long as you needed to understand and break down your concerns. So this effort obviously is not done. It is still going on, as Dr. Elaine Bryant has said, for the next couple months. And we will keep investing in the initiative as the need presents itself. So with that, I'd like to turn it back over to the Deputy County Administrator and answer any questions for the folks that you may have.
Great, Matt. Thank you so much. We've got in the speaker's queue, we've got Commissioner Maddox.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First of all, thank you all for the work you're doing out in our community. I'd like to say to the commission that just by the information you've been given today, that we can all say that we made a great investment when we made a decision to move some of those funds that we had slated for homelessness to educating our minority community and moving them towards wanting to get that vaccination. So I'm proud of the work that we did there. Even prouder of what these folks have done with those dollars. But the question that I have more than anything is, as we look forward to how we're going to disperse our next federal monies coming down for COVID relief, is what do you need from us to continue your success? 50% is a great number when you think about the fact of you're moving people in the right direction, right? But I like for those numbers to be better than half. I like for those numbers to be 75 to 80%, maybe even 90%. I heard Dr. Robinson say a few times that her staff is very stretched. What can we do to alleviate that? I'm sure the same thing is going on with Ms. Freeman's office, and I know Dr. Bryant from speaking with you and Dr. Holmes how stretched you are as well. What do you need from us to move that number from 50 to 75 to 80 to even 95% of the thoughts on COVID vaccinations changing? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Maddox. Any response for the Commissioner's questions?
I guess I'll be glad to start the conversation in that as we move through these 90 days, we will put in place, we will have reached a very small percentage of neighborhoods in Leon County that will need to be reached, in my mind, in order to increase that number, Mr. Commissioner. There is, and that's with us actually being focused every weekend. And I know that both Dr. Robinson and Ms. Freeman are focused every day. But we are doing town halls that I did not even elaborate on to try and educate the persons that are in our millennial group. And they will have a special need of outreach in order to even convince them that this is something that they ought to do. So it's a good start. I think that we are setting the table, so to speak, but it will have to continue in order to reach herd immunity or to get beyond that. But I'll turn it over to the doctors to talk about Dr. Robinson to speak further.
Well, I'm a firm believer that a lot of problems do require money to be strategically thrown at them. And I say that because a lot of the staffing issues we have are not necessarily, well, some of them are on the clinical side, but I don't think that these monies will be able to solve that for us. To get clinical people geared up, credentialed, and so forth takes a great deal of time, and time is not on our side when it comes to getting people vaccinated quickly. What we do need are people who can give attention to detail, that can help with some of the data issues, that it's not hard work, but it's tedious work, and it needs to be done correctly. And we need to find that level of talent and be able to pay them to handle some of the data issues. There are other things that I could ask for, and we already have those in budget, and those are hardware things and supplies and so forth. But what we need is good, right now, good manpower and dependable manpower, so we don't have to look over our shoulders so much that our information is accurate.
Thank you, Dr. Robinson. And Commissioner Maddox, the Deputy County Administrator and I were just talking a few minutes ago. One thing that county staff is working with the leaders on this Zoom call on is identifying those types of things to address your question, which will be presented at the budget workshop coming up in May. Any other questions, sir? All right, thank you, Commissioner Maddox. I've got Commissioner Welch, and then Commissioner Cummings and Commissioner Dozier. Mr. Welch.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to offer a real brief thank you to all of you. You're doing an incredible job, an incredible task for our community. Matt and your team with the community outreach, I mean, got to be one of the best in the state. Ms. Freeman, Dr. Bryant, Dr. Robinson, Ms. Blackburn. I'm a little partial to Dr. Robinson. She's a member of my Leadership Tallahassee class, so I just want to give her a big shout out, because I don't think, in all seriousness, there is a finer medical professional in the state of Florida, and she's a tremendous value to our community and a tremendous public servant, and I just want to give her a big shout out. But sincerely, thank you all for all you're doing.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Cummings and then Commissioner Dozier.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I certainly would like to just echo Commissioner Welch's remarks, and also Commissioner Maddox's concerns as well. And I'm happy to know that staff are looking into ways that we can further assist this team. But more specifically, Dr. Bryant, Dr. Robinson, Ms. Freeman, and Ms. Blackburn, all of you all have been on the front lines. You have dedicated yourselves and your staff to addressing the needs of all of us, and specifically to the needs of the least of us. And so I just want to commend you all for all the hard work that you have done. I am very impressed by the statistics that you all have provided for just over a month. The increase in the number of individuals you have touched, you have vaccinated, and that's certainly a plus to our Leon County and to our community. We are certainly concerned about the health, safety, and welfare of all of our citizens, but you all have rolled up your sleeves and you have addressed the needs in our minority community. I just want to give a personal shout out to, all of you, but to the neighborhood center and Ms. Freeman, because I received both of my coronavirus shots at the neighborhood center. They were both painless, didn't have any problems. My mom, who is 96, received both of her coronavirus shots at the neighborhood center. So I certainly thank Ms. Freeman and her staff, and I just appreciate all the hard work that you all have done to address this issue. And it's clearly a situation of life and death. And I believe that we are choosing life for our citizens, and we've got to continue to roll up our sleeves and work hard so that we can carry the message to those segments of our community that don't quite understand what's going on and need to be educated about the needs. And I guess what I want to say, not only the need, but about the concern for all of us so that we can achieve herd immunity. And to achieve herd immunity is going to take all of us, the majority of us, receiving that vaccination. So thanks again for all the hard work that you all have done, and I have confidence that you all will continue to do the hard work until we achieve our goals. And you certainly have my support, financially and otherwise. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Cummings. Commissioner Dozier.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I could say ditto to what all of my colleagues have said thus far. I am really grateful that this board stepped up unanimously, Commissioner Cummings, for your good idea at our last meeting and provided some funding. That was only possible because you all started so early with this effort and gave us a strong partner to work with. So thank you for that. And I hear you on the staffing issues. I think all of you, county staff included, have been working 24/7. If I could add dates or, to that, I would, for the last year. And you have the thanks of a grateful commission and community for all of your efforts. Dr. Bryant stepped out of one busy job right into another. Thank you for your leadership. And I'm really glad you mentioned the town hall with youth, and you came back to that about, talking about millennials. Looking at some of the reporting recently on the variants, they're hitting young people much harder. And that is really concerning, particularly as we're about to get out of school. And so I think that's really important. So I really appreciate you highlighting that in addition to all of the other work that you all have done. I'm just curious, two questions. One, the impact of the J&J vaccine, the announcement we heard today. I noted some of the numbers. I think, Ms. Friedman, you mentioned homeless population. I've wondered if we're using it in the detention center. Claudia Blackburn, thank you for your email letting us know that we've started vaccinating folks in the detention center. That was fantastic. I'm just wondering if that's going to be an impact and how it will impact our community. And the second question is, in your conversations and outreach, I assume that you're also letting people know we still need to maintain social distance and masks. And I'm just curious if you have any feedback about how those conversations are going.
I can start. We know that J&J has made the discontinued use of that for the moment has definitely made an impact, especially on certain populations that would benefit more from a one-shot dose. But we definitely, I know Dr. Robinson, we both have Moderna. We started out with Moderna. I'm going to speak for you, Temple. We have plenty of Moderna. That's not going to stop our efforts in vaccinating our community. So we definitely have ample amounts. We're both included in the federal allotment of vaccines. We also are included in the state allotment of vaccines through the Vaccines for Children program. So we definitely have enough to meet the need of our community right now. So that definitely won't impact that. And I'll turn over the other parts to you, Claudia. Thank you.
Sorry. We have used a little J&J. We did use it in the detention center, but we also use Pfizer. We are a big Pfizer community. That's mostly what we've received at the health department. So we have Moderna through the FQHCs through FAMU, and then we have Pfizer through the health department, TMH, I believe TPCA. Most of the providers are getting Pfizer. So we have plenty of vaccine to continue our efforts at this time.
And I'm just going to piggyback real quick about vigilance and say that the local surveying that we had done via the Sachs Media Group and other partners had yielded that the commitment to vigilance amongst those folks from December to present day has not decreased, despite perhaps some cases have or percent positivity. The commitment of the community to knowing that masks, social distancing, good hygiene, and all the other basic but fundamental efforts that we do are still just as important as they were. So we have not seen those folks committed to it decreasing their commitment.
Great. Thank you all again very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Dozier. I'm not going to reiterate what many others have said already, other than to say that, one of the great things about this community is seeing true leaders like yourselves working together in good faith to get things done and help the people who live here. And you see it from time to time in Leon County on various issues. I don't think any of us have seen it more often than we have in the last year, and also specifically with this vaccination effort. So thank you for everything you all are doing. Mr. Deputy County Administrator, would you please introduce the final presentation?
Commissioners, now would like to turn over to Claudia Blackburn, who's already on the screen, to do the weekly COVID update. Claudia?
Good afternoon again, Commissioners and Deputy County Administrator Allen. Again, thank you for the opportunity to provide a brief update on where we are with COVID-19 in Leon County. But first, I would really just, listening to your comments, it's very encouraging. I really appreciate you using your influence as ambassadors to encourage people to do everything they can do to keep from getting COVID, including getting vaccinated. The last thing we want is for people now, when they're so close to that vaccination appointment, to slip up or to be exposed and to get COVID. So we just need to get to the finish line here. Our trends right now are a bit concerning, I have to be honest, because they seem to be creeping up a little bit. We are going to continue to monitor closely and, again, stress efforts to reduce the spread of disease along with vaccinations. For those interested in the numbers, my staff tells me I throw out too many numbers, but it's hard to resist. Our positivity rate for the last 2 weeks has been 2.73%, with an increase from 2.34% for week 13 to 3.17% for week 14. And today our rate was a little bit over 5%. That's just one day, so we're going to watch that closely to see if this trend of creeping up continues. Our cases have also increased, and for the last 7 days they've been about 35 per day. And again, we're still seeing a disproportionate percentage of our cases in the 20 to 24 year age group, accounting for about 25% of cases. And that population is about 15.5% of the population. The good news is that though I'd like to say that this is zero, about 3.4% of our cases are in people 65 and over, and they represent 14% of the population. So the vaccine does seem to be working. We're also tracking the vaccination rate by age group. So right now, and this is really, we should feel good about this, about 82% of people that are 65 and over in Leon County, that's our group that has the highest risk for severe illness, hospitalization, and death. They have had at least one dose of COVID vaccine, so 82%. The racial breakdown is for African Americans in the 65 plus age group, 49%, and for whites it's 65%. So we still have a gap that, as you heard, there are great efforts going on to close. Overall, 39.3% of the eligible population has had at least one dose. So our goal is to get to 50% as quickly as possible. And in order to do this, we need to vaccinate about 26,615 people. And in our community, we're vaccinating about 8,500 a week. So we could achieve this goal within a month if supply and capacity continue, which I anticipate that it will. that's kind of, I know that there's a lot of pressure on you to, look at the mask ordinance. I would say that right now, with watching what's going on in the nation, knowing that we have variants, we're seeing increasing number of variants at the county level, and we're seeing this trend that's going up. We really need to continue to be very vigilant about wearing masks in public. And then, of course, there are some CDC guidelines for people that are fully vaccinated. And so I would urge everybody to take a look at those. And, I'm happy to talk about them if you want, but we have talked about them before. So that is my report. We continue to give vaccines through the health department. We've given over 22,000 doses, and we have a big clinic going on today. I've been watching the cars drive through. We will be moving indoors to the FSU Civic Center beginning May the 3rd, just because we're getting into hurricane season and it's getting very hot for staff and volunteers and the paramedics who are outside giving vaccinations. So we will be moving our operation indoors, and we'll be sending out information about that. So that's my report. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Ms. Blackburn, thank you very much. I have in the speaker's queue Commissioner Jackson and then Commissioner Welch. Commissioner Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Claudia, could you repeat the numbers for those that are 65 and over once again, and do the racial breakdown for us?
Yes, 82% of people 65 and over in Leon County are currently vaccinated with at least one dose. And then it is 49.1% for African Americans 65 and over, and 65% for whites 65 and over.
All right, thank you. And again, each meeting, I will continue to say that this virus disproportionately attacks people in poor and African American communities, as well as our Hispanic population. It makes up nearly 13% of Leon County's total population. Whatever we can do to make inroads and somehow get into those communities. I think one of our speakers earlier said that, I believe it was you, Commissioner Bryant, talking about meeting people where they are with vaccinations, instead of us creating or inadvertently creating obstacles to vaccination. It disproportionately both attacks African American communities as well as results in fatalities at a much higher rate than our white population. Super concerned about that, and thank you for capturing those numbers for us in your report today. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Jackson. I've got Commissioner Welch and then Commissioner Dozier.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. Blackburn, thank you once again for everything you're doing. You acknowledge that we're getting increasing amounts of emails about our mask ordinance, and as other municipalities around the state roll back or relax their mandates or ordinances or whatever you want to call them, I think Orlando is entered into like a phased program, and Jacksonville and some of the larger municipalities. Do you know of any data points that maybe your colleagues around, I assume that you have a colleague around the state in every county. I mean, is there anything that they're looking at that we're not looking at, or is there any data points that they're overlooking perhaps that we are actually paying attention to? Can you speak to that?
If you're kind of looking for a formula for when we can stop wearing masks, I apologize, I don't have that. I did ask the State Surgeon General yesterday on one of our calls, if there were any new recommendations about this, and he said we continue to follow CDC guidelines as it relates to mask wearing. And when those guidelines will change, I just don't know at this point.
All right, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Thank you. And so to Madam County Attorney, I think there's also some misunderstanding out there about what has to happen in Leon County for our mask ordinance to be changed. Can you clarify the process involved in that as we continue to move towards that point at some point in the future? Can you clarify that for us?
Madam County Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sure, Commissioner Welch, so under Section 126, 125.66, actually, there are two ways to adopt, amend, or repeal an ordinance. One of them is called an emergency enactment procedure. It is what the board used to adopt the emergency ordinance at the time that ordinance number 20-15 was adopted by this body. What that required, though, was a 4/5 vote of the board and a determination that there was an immediate need to waive those procedural requirements. Under the other portion of the statute, it's the regular enactment procedure. It would require at least a 10-day notice be published to basically do exactly what the statute says, which is provide notice to the public of the board's intent to adopt, amend, or repeal an ordinance.
Thank you.
Yes, Commissioner Welch.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. Blackburn, I know that we've been looking at a sort of combination of data points and statistics, and I know a few weeks ago there were 0 patients in the hospital, but now we've ping-ponged back up, and our positivity rates are kind of ping-ponging. I know you mentioned some of those new variants, so I just wanted to acknowledge that and assure everybody that we're paying attention to those statistics. We get updates frequently, weekly, daily, in some cases, and thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Welch. I've got Commissioner Dozier and then Commissioner Maddox.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And thank you, Claudia, for everything. I know I said it a moment ago, you and your staff are doing. I got my first shot, I cannot speak today, excuse me. My first shot at the Municipal Way facility last week, I believe, and the professionalism, the efficiency, and the collaboration between Tallahassee Fire, your staff, EMS, it was just incredible. It's one thing to hear about the anecdote, to hear it anecdotally from others or in our presentations, but to drive through and experience that, I was just very impressed. And I was also impressed by the numbers of people that have been in line every day. So one question I had was about the J&J vaccine, and we covered that in the previous section, so thank you for that. And I know we talked about the detention center and other things at the last meeting, so again, just want to reiterate, thank you for your email, and I'm glad that's moving forward. Picking up on Commissioner Welch questions, and yes, we're receiving more emails now, I believe, than we have received in several months, encouraging us to repeal the mandate. I would not say that it's overwhelming. I think we've had plenty of issues where we get many emails, hundreds of emails, and this is not one of them. I see that, and my question of the folks on our previous presentation, as evidence that a majority of our community, and particularly the business owners, are still supportive of the mask mandate. They understand that we are in a delicate position right now. I've heard Dr. Fauci, Dr. Walensky, others say that we are in a race right now between the variants and vaccines. And that's really what I wanted to ask you about now, is some of the things I've been seeing in the news about these variants. The B117 is particularly, a hot topic right now, and that does seem like it's impacting young people more, and the symptoms could be more severe. Do we know if we have seen those variants in Leon County? I know we don't test, we don't run every test to see what the variants are, but do you have any information about those variants in Leon or in Florida?
Yes, we do have variants. We do test for them here, especially if there is like a breakthrough case, if somebody's been immunized and then they get COVID, which is a very, very small percent. And if there's a cluster, if there's a death, I can't tell you all the different circumstances, but we're trying to do more of the sequencing So we have, I believe it's 23, and most of them are the UK variant. 3 are the California variant. They are susceptible to the vaccine, which is great, but they are more, well, at least the UK variant is more transmissible. And so, you know, again, it is a race. And we probably can't vaccinate fast enough to get in front of the variants, which is why we need to vaccinate as fast as we can, but also continue to wear masks and social distance and be as careful as possible until, you know, we get the majority of the population vaccinated. Or something changes with this virus. Honestly, we just don't know a lot. There's a lot we don't understand about why this is happening. So I wish I had all the answers.
I think we've all felt that way for the last year. We wish we had the answers because we're responding in real time with what information we have at that point. And this is something that's been a profound challenge, I know, for you, for everyone in the healthcare industry, but also for policymakers, that we are following the best guidance that we have at this time. And yes, things may change as we learn more, about the different variants or about COVID and the vaccines. But one thing that has not changed is the masks, hand washing, and social distancing. That's been consistent since the very beginning. And until we reach some point where most people are vaccinated, I would assume that that guidance will likely continue. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I know that that is a vague question, but it seems like that's what I'm hearing and reading in all of the different reports. You mentioned breakthrough cases, and there was an article in the Democrat that said we had 12 folks in our community who were fully vaccinated and tested positive for COVID. I think this also speaks to the need for continued masking and these different measures. Is there anything else we need to be concerned about, or are those cases so rare that it's something that we should really just focus on the general population and knowing that you're going to catch those cases when they come up?
It's actually lower than I expected. I mean, that's less than 1% of vaccinated persons. So it's a really, really small number. So the vaccines seem to be working very well.
That's fantastic. All right, thank you very much. And I hope everyone shows up to get a shot at one place or another. We've got a lot of locations in town. And great job on the map. Mr. Deputy County Administrator, I'm stumbling over that word too. I'm not used to saying deputy. But the map you and your team developed is really helping people navigate the vaccine sites. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Dozier. I've got Commissioner Maddox to wrap it up.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A couple of things. First of all, thank you, Claudia, for the information. We appreciate your paying attention to what we said last time and making the vaccines happen within our detention facilities. That did not go unnoticed. Just like myself, I'm sure a lot of you received the emails, and I appreciate you putting your attention on that, moving the ball forward on that. Commissioner, I think that as we move forward, we understand that we're going to have maybe two more meetings before we hit our summer break. I think it's time for us to think about just taking a look at, or just to review a status report on our reopening plan as we go over the summer. As I currently understand, we're in phase two right now. Mr. Deputy Administrator, will you just explain to those who are listening what is not included in phase two, what phase two means for Leon County?
Mr. Deputy County Administrator.
At this point in time in Leon County's reopening plan, we basically have everything open except indoor spaces. Ostensibly, we have our libraries at a limited capacity, about 50%. Our programming rooms at the library are closed to the public, and our community centers are closed to the public. That's generally what we have, and we also have scaled back and haven't done our in-person hazardous waste pickup events either. So that's in effect what's left that we haven't open at this point in time.
Thanks, sir. So what I'm suggesting and what I'm going to ask for when I finish my comments is just for staff to come back with a status report, or maybe even an agenda item, whichever one you guys think fit is best, on what phase we're in, what the next phase looks like, and how we're going to handle things if over the summer we meet a critical mass and being able to move to the next phase. My second point is that, as you described it, Madam Attorney, it would take right now a two-step process for us to get to a place of repeal of the mask mandate. It would take us asking for staff to bring it back, and then it would be a public hearing, and then another public hearing. Is that correct? So it's actually about 3 phases, correct?
Madam County Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's under the regular enactment process, a two-phase process.
Two-phase process, okay. I think that staff has been very stringent in their standard of making sure that we abide by CDC guidelines. What I'm hoping to do here in this second part of the motion that I'm going to ask for is give staff the ability, if CDC guidelines change, to bring that ordinance back for a repeal without us having to ask for it. As it sits right now, like I said, we would have to make a motion second, ask for it to come back, then there's a public hearing, and then there's another public hearing to repeal. All I'm asking for simply is that staff, if CDC guidelines change, or if anything changes, that they bring it back to us immediately. We'd be able to have that conversation and move forward to eliminate one step. My thought here, and the reason I'm moving this direction is because we're about to go into a summer where we have, right now, we just heard 50% of the minority community changing their mind about the vaccine. We also have more and more people by the day getting the shot. And I do understand that our numbers have increased. And let me be honest with you, this weekend, Miami Boys, which most of you probably have no idea what it is, but I do, is going to have a huge event in Tallahassee that's likely going to make those numbers spike a little bit more, because there'll be every college student from the surrounding area in Tallahassee to go to their event, which more than likely, let me be honest with you, these kids likely will not have masks on. I'm sure, I'm not even going to say they're going to try to enforce it. Let's just hope that they're going to do everything they can to enforce it, but they're going to be more concerned about having a good time, which may not be good for us. But either way, my point is that as the positivity rate lowers, as more and more people get the vaccine, I know we're all hopeful that those numbers start to decline and incline, respectively, sooner than later, definitely before the end of the summer. What I want is for staff to have the ability with the chair, if those numbers get to a critical mass, and also if CDC guidelines change, to come back to us without us having to ask, in emergency meeting setting, for us to make a decision on what we want to do there and move into the next phases. So, with that being said, I will make a motion that staff bring back a review of our phase plan for COVID, describing our current phase that we're in and what the next phase looks like. Along with that, also including my motion that we give the county attorney's office the ability to bring back, without our consent, to bring back any changes, any recommendations of repeal on the ordinance due to changes in CDC guidelines, or I'll just say due to changes in the CDC guidelines. That would be my motion. Thank you, Mr.
Second. Motion's been made and seconded. Let me just pause real quickly. This is actually an opportune moment to say this. Obviously, we're still adhering to COVID safety restrictions. We need to try to minimize the amount of time we have in this room. I'd like to try to have us break and finish our county business by 5:45 at the latest, because we do have the joint comp plan meeting coming up. If we're not able to finish our county business before 5:45-ish, we will need to then have our comp plan meeting with the city. After that is over, then we need to make sure we reconvene as a county commission to finish our business. So let's try, I don't want to try to curtail anybody's comments, but please keep them brief. On the speaker's queue, I've got Commissioner Dozier to speak on the item.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good motion, Commissioner Maddox. I appreciate that. And I'm just wondering, Mr. Deputy County Administrator, if when this report comes back to us on the phasing plan, we really looked at, I'm sorry?
No, go ahead.
If I remember correctly, full reopening or phase 3, was a full reopening. There might be a need for phase 2.5 or something like that, where we could allow our community centers to be used, particularly during the summer months, with appropriate protocols. Do you think that's something that we could look at in that phasing plan?
Absolutely, because at this point, for example, we modified phase 2 at the board's direction for our athletic teams and sporting events. So similar to that, we'll evaluate all that and bring that back as a recommendation.
Okay. I really appreciate that, and I think we could find more nuance, particularly, I mean, the first thought that came to mind, quite frankly, is our Chairs Community Center and how many seniors relied on that community center pre-COVID. If we could have a place this summer, and most of them hopefully will be vaccinated, that would be really nice, even if we're not ready for a full phase 3. So I appreciate that. I think skipping that one step with the vote to bring back the ordinance is just fine. But just to reiterate, it's following, as you said, CDC guidance, and it may not be that they change that guidance until after the summer months. I mean, that's really something that we're hearing more discussion about right now, but we're just going to have to see how this goes. The last thing, I was going to mention this in comment time at the end of the meeting, but I'll go ahead and say it because you brought up the event this weekend. I watched some of the live stream of Warda South this weekend. Incredible music. Unfortunate about the rain. But I was really impressed throughout to see the incredible protocols that Warda South put in place. Masking requirements, social distance, others, and of course the live stream was from the moon, so you could see a rather decent sized crowd. There are ways to do these types of events that still keep our community safe. And if anyone has influence over concerts that attract a younger crowd where there aren't masks, I think this is our biggest danger zone, and our whole community, all of our businesses should be concerned about just that type of event, Commissioner Maddox, because if we see these variants spike, it's going to push out that date where we can really safely reopen everything. So thank you for bringing that up. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Dozier. All those in favor of the motion as stated by Commissioner Maddox, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, the motion carries unanimously. Seeing no other speakers in the queue, we'll move on to Ms. Blackburn. Thank you very much for your presentation. As always, thank you for everything that you and your team do. We're very grateful.
Thank you.
Mr. Deputy County Administrator, we are now moving to consent. We do know that item number 5 has been pulled from consent. Are there any other agenda items pulled from consent, sir?
No, we have no others pulled.
Thank you very much. There's a motion from Commissioner Jackson to pull all the remaining items from the to approve the remaining items from consent agenda. Is there a second for that? Seconded by Commissioner Maddox. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
Point of clarification. Was that, Mr. Deputy Administrator, did you understand that request as a status report or an agenda item?
We intend to bring it back as an agenda item to the commission.
Okay. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Commissioner Maddox. Okay, so next is the items pulled from consent. Mr. Rosenweig, are there any members of the public who would like to speak on agenda item number 5?
No, sir.
All right. At whose request was this item pulled from consent?
Commissioner Cummings.
Commissioner Cummings. Commissioner Cummings, ma'am, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To my fellow commissioners, I pulled item number 5 from consent, not because I oppose it, but because I just wanted to take the opportunity to applaud Judge Nikki Clark for all the good that she has provided in the Second Judicial Circuit. We have all of the analysis and her background information in the documentation provided by staff, and I, of course, want to acknowledge them and appreciate them for the thorough job that they did. But I just want to, on a personal note, just recognize Judge Clark. I think we all know that she was the first African-American to serve in the Second Judicial Circuit as a judge. She was appointed by Governor Lawton Childs to the Circuit Court, and she left there after about 17 years and was a judge on the First District Court of Appeal. So I won't say a whole lot. I know we're trying to keep our meeting brief, so I won't make a lot of comments, but I would like to say that Judge Clark certainly served as a role model for me as an attorney. She worked at Legal Services of North Florida, working with indigent clients. Some years before I arrived there, I worked at Legal Services as well. During my legal career, and while she was a first while she was a circuit judge, I had the opportunity to have a 2-day trial in front of Judge Clark. And she was the epitome of professionalism. She was a jurist that was fair, and she followed the law. And ultimately, Attorney Osteen, we know that as attorneys, that's what we want judges to do, to just follow the law and be fair. And she was that. So I just believe that this particular honor, naming the Leon County Clerk of Courts Lo Bono Center in name of Judge Clark, is very fitting. Since she left the bench, she has been engaged in pro bono services here in the Second Judicial Circuit. So I just applaud her and appreciate this opportunity to say a couple of words about the great jurist that she was. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Cummings. Would you like to make a motion, ma'am?
I would move that we accept staff's recommendation on items 1 and 2.
All right, thank you so much. There's a motion to approve, to move for option 1 and 2, staff recommendation on item number 5, seconded by Commissioner Dozier. Motion is made by Commissioner Cummings. All those in favor of the motion, say aye. 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 All opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much, ma'am. Let's see, Mr. Rosenzweig, we are now at the citizens to be heard on non-agenda items, sir. Do we have any speakers?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have 3 in-person speakers and 3 virtual speakers. So at this time, we'd like to now take in-person and virtual public comments on non-agenda items. All written comments were previously distributed to the board. Commissioners, prior to the meeting, all registrants for virtual public comments have received instructions on how to participate. I'll do a quick refresher now. So as a reminder to all callers, you'll be identified by your name and asked to write comment for up to 3 minutes. For those joining by video, you may experience a few second transition as we bring you into the meeting. When you're asked to speak, you'll be added to the meeting. You'll be prompted to unmute your device. And if you choose, activate your video. Again, you'll receive an automated prompt to unmute your device. Once prompted, please state your name and address for the record. And again, keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. If, however, you experience technical difficulties during your call, bear with us. And if unresolved, we'll move on to the next speaker. So thank you for that. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, we'll start with the in-person speakers. We have Christina Epps. Ms. Christina Epps.
Ms. Epps, thank you for coming today. Please, you've got 3 minutes, and please state your name and address for the record. You can go to the microphone right there, please, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Christina Epps. I'm at 12009 Otter Creek Trail. Brian is my commissioner. First, thank you guys for talking to the task force about COVID stuff. I love seeing that you guys are very informed and up to date on everything. The one thing that I was kind of disappointed with, though, with the task force was they weren't really promoting healthy lifestyle things, which when I talked to my doctor, that was one thing that they recommended for me. They didn't really bring up vaccines, but this was also in the fall. She just said, vitamins and working out. So social distancing is great. Masks, I'm kind of iffy on the masks. You've seen different things, but yeah, and the hand washing, of course, always works. But I'm willing to comply with the mask mandate. I'm an adult. I, will follow the rules. But one thing that kind of breaks my heart is I have a 6-year-old now, and he's just now meeting the mask mandate, and it's really hard for me to watch him have to put on a mask when he's not high risk. If he gets COVID, he'll probably beat it, and so will a lot of other kids because their immune systems are, made for that. They play in dirt, they eat boogers, they're gross, they're ready to fight stuff off. So I'm just hoping that you guys will maybe look at the data involving children and just lift the age maybe to something that, will protect the vulnerable more. I love that the vaccines are out for the vulnerable. That's great. You guys are doing a great job, with that, getting it out. But, it's been a year of us being at home and social distancing. We homeschooled this year because we were, kind of seeing what was going to happen. And just looking at summer camps and having them have mask mandates, it's sad. Kids aren't supposed to live like this, you guys. So, yeah, I wish you guys good health, and thank you for listening to my opinion.
Thank you so much, Ms. Epps. Appreciate it. Next speaker, please.
The next speaker is Max Epstein.
Mr. Epstein, sir, you have 3 minutes. Please state your name and address for the record. Is he still here?
I don't see him.
Okay. Next speaker, please.
The next in-person speaker is Sarah Teresa Haskell, and then we'll move to our virtual speakers.
Oh, hello, Ms. Haskell. Thank you for being here. You have 3 minutes. Please state your name and address for the record.
Okay, thank you. My name is Sarah Teresa Haskell. I live at 923 Alachua Avenue. Homelessness is a complex issue. In the problem-solving process for the homeless, our laws and processes must be followed so we protect our children, our businesses, and our citizens. Our message has not changed. City Walk's location is inappropriate, and City Walk opened illegally after the cold night emergency was over. The blatant disregard for the safety of the Tallahassee children, with a total of 10 schools and daycare within easy walking distance of City Walk, the safety of hardworking businesses, and the safety of the Tallahassee citizen is a major concern to us. We continue to question the legality of the distance between City Walk and Hilltop Academy Child Care Facility, which is across the street from City Walk. Don't we matter too? Tallahassee citizens have invested their lives in this community. We support our community and follow the laws and processes. City Walks keeps beating the drum that we are villains and we don't care about the homeless. That is wrong. In reality, City Walk has been reached out to. A specific example at the March 10th City Commission meeting, Big Ben Care offered to assess City Walk's clients and try to place them. An invitation was extended to City Walk to attend a meeting the next day. It appeared Big Ben Continuum of Care was reaching out to City Walk. City Walk declined both offers. 2 weeks later, City Walk was served with papers from the city requiring the relocation of City Walk's clients in 5 days. City Walk's response was, "This is sick, this is evil. I'm ashamed of my Tallahassee government forcing me to do this." But my question is, why did City Walk decline the offers for help 2 weeks prior? Their clients would have been on their way to be taken care of. There was no need to put City Walk's clients in this bad position and use them for what appeared to me was leverage. Now we have the additional discoveries and concerns. There are potential safety issues to this facility. So I am here to say we are not villains. We care about the homeless. We oppose the City Walk location. We oppose City Walk's opening illegally without regard for our laws, processes that protect our children, our businesses, our citizens, and yes, the homeless too. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks so much, Ms. Haskell. Next speaker, please.
Mr. Chairman, we'll now transition to our online speakers. Ms. Yvette Pavone. Ms. Yvette Pavone.
Welcome, Ms. Pavone. Please state your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes to speak, ma'am.
Hi, let's see here. There we go. Good morning. This is, okay, there we go. I'm trying to get where I can see y'all. This is Yvette Pavone. I am at 4036 Forsyth Park Circle. I am addressing the commission pertaining to some traffic calming, potential traffic calming on the main road up that leads to our community. I am on the board for Forsyth Park Homeowners Association, and as such, am also addressing for the board and for our community. We were given notice about a Zoom meeting by the city to come on and listen to a potential traffic calming on Forsyth Park, on Forsyth Way, which we did. And during that meeting, we were told that because we actually didn't live on the street that the traffic calming would be put on, we were not allowed to vote yes or no for the traffic calming. And the traffic calming directly affects our community of 55 houses. So right now there's currently a vote pending and cards went out for citizens to vote. So what is happening, the traffic calming will be within 20 feet of our front door, and we're not being allowed to vote on the traffic calming but the 25 houses that are that it'll go right in front of are being allowed to vote. So my community is a little upset, given that this will directly affect access to our community, but we're not being allowed to vote. And I believe that if the vote went either way, the people of our community would be accepting of it. It's just the fact that we're not being allowed to vote on something that directly affects us. And I've spoken to the city manager, I've spoken to several city engineers, and I'm being told that the reason that we are not being permitted to vote is because there's another access to our community. But that access to our community goes through 2 other neighborhoods. And in order to get back up on Thomasville Road, we have to cross the 4 lanes of oncoming traffic into like a median area where there's no merge lane. Whereas from Forsyth Way, there's actually a merge lane. So people are, I think, fearing for their safety of trying to get out on Thomasville Road, the inconvenience of having to drive through 2 other neighborhoods to get to the main road. And also the fact that 25 homes are potentially choosing the access to 85 homes. And people are concerned about their property value. So I guess I am requesting, and I don't know how else to do it besides to come to the city commission and ask that we be allowed to be included in that vote.
Ms. Pavone, thank you very much for coming today. I appreciate it. We can have our county staff work with you to confirm, but I believe that it's going to be something within completely the jurisdiction of the city of Tallahassee. But what we'll do is our county staff will work with you, ma'am, and confirm that, and then facilitate that where we can. How's that sound?
That sounds great.
Okay. Ma'am, thank you very much. I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Next speaker, please.
The next virtual speaker, commissioners, is Stephanie Johansen.
Ms. Johansen, thank you for being here. You have 3 minutes. Please state your name and address for the record. Still here?
Hello? Hello?
Hello, ma'am. Welcome. We can hear
Hello,
you.
my apologies. Yes, my telephone number is, or I'm sorry, my address is 3608 Buckner Court, Tallahassee, Florida, 32311.
Thank you, ma'am. You have 3 minutes.
I guess my time starts now.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, commissioners, for serving our county. I recognize the intense difficulty of governing right now and your desire to keep the community safe. However, because I believe that safety is more than merely surviving COVID, my request is that you repeal the emergency mandate enacted in June of 2020. We're coming up on 1 year of having this order in effect, and there are 4 difficulties I'd like to briefly address. Difficulty communicating, difficulty navigating, difficulty socializing, and difficulty worshiping. This commission has difficulty communicating. Masking muffles voices and hinders communication. This has a disparate impact on young children, those hard of hearing, those for whom English is not their primary language, the elderly, those with speech difficulties, and those who have difficulty navigating social cues. Number 2, difficulty navigating. There is intense confusion and frustration, both for businesses, churchgoers, and for patrons about expectations for mask use and exemptions. A higher authority, Governor DeSantis, has nullified all penalties and rendered this mandate toothless. This commission has expressed displeasure in this intervention. The hand of a higher authority seems unwelcome, yet we throw decision-making at the feet of the reports from the CDC. Simply buying groceries in this climate becomes political. Number 3, difficulty socializing. Children are coming up on 1 year of not seeing smiles on strangers' faces. Isolated individuals are robbed of simple interactions in the grocery store that are often initiated by a smile. Germophobia is at a fever pitch, and depression and suicide are on the rise. We are awkwardly shaping the social norms of future generations. Lastly, and of key importance to myself, is difficulty in worshiping. God has designed for his people to gather regularly, to participate in worship and community building. We gather to encourage each other. We gather to pray for one another. We gather to sing songs that remind us of our common identity in Christ, to honor God, and to celebrate his Son who has made a way to redeem us. We gather to responsibly read the Bible together and to hear the Bible preached with authority. We gather to take the Lord's Supper. We gather to renew our commitment to loving God and loving our neighbors with all that we have and all that we are. In countless ways, these protocols are a hindrance. For example, social distancing means that the desperate neck of the grieving widow goes unhugged unless we defy the order. Masking means muffled or silenced voices of fellow worshipers, even if they are singing lustily and with good measure. While safety is certainly important, I would implore the Commission to recognize that life is more than survival. We are meant to thrive, and the basic human need for connection is hindered in countless ways by this mandate. Ways that sadly don't show up on daily CDC reports and may not be studied, understood, and reported on until it is too late. Lastly, I would add that Commissioner Welch's unexpected victory over Commissioner Deloge was in part due to exasperation with the no end in sight
Ms.
emergency
Johansen,
order.
I'm sorry, your time is up, ma'am. Your time is up, ma'am. I'm very sorry. Thank you very much for coming. I appreciate
No worries,
it.
thank you.
Next speaker, please.
Your last speaker, Commissioners, is Elizabeth Winchester. Elizabeth Winchester.
Ms. Winchester, thank you very much for participating today. Please state your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes.
Yes, hi, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can.
Okay, great. Let's see a second. There we go. My name's Elizabeth Winchester. My address is 2118 Old Fort Drive, Tallahassee, Florida, 32301. And give me 1 second, and I'm gonna go to my notes. All right, so I just would like to say the current Leon Cares program has been promoted as helping, quote, income eligible, end quote, Leon County residents who have been, quote, negatively impacted by COVID-19, end quote. However, I wanted to, bring to the public's attention and the board's attention that this program is not, in fact, open to homeowners who would otherwise qualify. In addition, while there was another Leon Cares program that was open to homeowners just shortly prior to this current program opening up, there was no staff assistance or additional assistance provided to these applicants, as has been for the current Leon Cares program, despite the fact that that program required a much greater laborious amount of documentation and for it to be provided primarily online. This process really was not adequately staffed to assist applicants to the program that was in place just before this program, the current Leon Cares program. So I wondered, in light of the city's recent decision to begin disconnecting utility services, how will the county and the city work together to assist homeowners who would qualify for the current Leon Cares program, aside from the fact that they're homeowners and pay property taxes that support our city services? And please note, the 211 resources, while appreciated, are simply insufficient for the needs, the current needs of Leon County homeowners, at this time, still at the end of this pandemic. Thank you.
Ms. Winchester, thank you very much for coming. I do know that the emergency rental assistance program that the county is currently offering has federal restrictions preventing us from assisting mortgage payments. But what we can do is we can have county staff reach out to you about some of the details of the program. Thank you very much, ma'am. Appreciate it. I think that concludes the speakers for non-agenda items. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
All right, moving on to general business. Per our earlier discussion, we do have item number 24 moved to the top of general business. Mr. Rosenweig, would you please introduce the item number 24 and any members of the public who would like to speak on this item?
Yes, Commissioners. Item 24, Commissioners, is seeking your authority to adopt a resolution designating the Friday after the Thanksgiving holiday as Family Day in Leon County. Staff is recommending option 1, and we do have one speaker, Mr. Ron Sachs.
Mr. Sachs, thank you for being here, sir. Please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Commissioner. Ron Sachs, 303 Rose Hill Drive East, 32312. A privilege to be here. Thank you all first for your service and leadership every day, not just the commission, but the staff. So proud to live in this great community. In 1990, I moved here as a homeboy from Miami, not for a job, but for a way of life. I read in Parents Magazine, and I had 3 little girls at the time, that this was one of the 10 best places in the country to raise a family. That's why I moved here, found the job after determining that. And today, consideration of this resolution is very important. During this long shutdown period of COVID changing our lives, as hard as it's been, we've learned a lot of good things about ourselves, that while we're missing the icing on the cake of concerts, sporting events, family vacations, we're back to basics. What really matters is family, faith, and friends. And recognizing that this is a community with great family values. Enabling this resolution to pass will also tell the world that this is a community that values family. And picking the Friday after Thanksgiving, most families of very diverse kinds are already gathered together. It doesn't cause anyone to lose a day of work, $1 of pay, and it's a really pretty easy layup to do. But if you do this, you'll be making great history for this community. We will be the only community so far in Florida to designate a Family Day holiday every year, and I'm hoping it will catch fire. President McKinley from the Association of Counties, after I presented this idea to Commissioner Welch, who embraced it, said that if you take action on this today, she will share it with your peer counties around the state. And wouldn't that be something if Florida became the third state to recognize Family Day as an actual holiday every single year? So thank you for consideration of this. Again, I moved my family here because of this community being not only the capital of state government, but the capital of family quality of life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sachs. Really appreciate it. All right. In the speaker's queue, we have Commissioner Jackson and then Commissioners Welch and Dozier. Commissioner Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Couldn't think of any better way to recognize the values that we have in this community. Just want to double check with Mr. Sachs. This won't have any impact on Black Friday moving forward. I just want to make sure of that.
People can still shop together, watch football.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Sachs. Fine presentation. Can't think of anything more important than recognizing our families. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Jackson. Commissioner Welch and then Commissioner Dozier.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Mr. Sachs, for this great idea. And I think this is really an incredible opportunity for us in Leon County to kind of put our flag in the ground as a family-friendly community. I think this is an incredible gesture. It does not impact Black Friday. We want you to go shopping. We want you to go to the movies. We want you to get out and spend your money in Leon County, but we want you to do it with your family. We want you to, and this is all families. This is the family concept, the family dynamic. You all know that nothing is more important to me than my family. That is why all of us have chosen to make Leon County our homes, and the sense of place that we create here for our families, our schools and our parks and our quality of life and all of that. I think this is just a great, great opportunity for us to really be a leader in the state. And hopefully all the counties will do something similar. And I would urge your support. I'd like to make a motion for both of options. There's two option ones. One adopts the resolution, the other is, there's two. So I'll just approve option one, both of them or one of them or whichever one. And thank you all for allowing this to come back to the full board. And thank you once again to Mr. Sachs for your leadership on this. We're going to try and rope in everybody in the community, our chambers of commerce and everybody to really push this out there and hope folks will embrace this and then we can grow this in the future and really turn this into a real meaningful moment and a gesture for our county. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Welch. And just to clarify, you are moving for option one, which is the adopt the resolution for Family Day, correct? Okay.
Second.
Okay. And it's been seconded by Commissioner Cummings. Thank you very much, Commissioner Welch. I've got Commissioner Dozier and then Commissioner Cummings after that.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I didn't realize I'd already turned on my microphone there. I think this is a great idea. I will digress for a second and say, for Ron Sachs, thank you for sticking around for this important item, but also should have recognized your work with the task force earlier. So thank you for all you do for our community. I'm really excited about this also, and I think it is significant and notable, although not surprising, to say that we're not just designating a day. Our staff has taken it to another level to say, Visit Tallahassee will have a targeted campaign encouraging people and, kind of putting out some ideas of what people could do on Family Day, and that it dovetails not just with Black Friday, but with Love Your Local campaign and wanting to shop local through OEV. I thought that's a really good addition here, and it builds on things that we're already doing. For my part, most of y'all know, you've gotten some emails, I think. I got a big family. We are so fortunate. And day after Thanksgiving, a couple times, huge group of cousins, we were out in freezing cold weather doing the zip lines at the Tallahassee Museum. So we have tried to, at times, have a activity like that, and I think this is really important. I think it is also important for us to recognize that not everybody is as lucky as I or many of us, and I would love to see something about your chosen family. It's not just your relatives, but it's the people you choose and you consider your family. And if we've got students staying in town over the weekend, there just may be a really nice element to add in here that kind of expands the definition or recognizes that there is an expanded definition of family. I'll say that. So thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for bringing it up.
Amen. Well said, Commissioner Dozier. Commissioner Cummings.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to briefly say, Mr. Sachs, I really appreciate this recommendation. I ditto everybody else's accolades as far as it's concerned. But I just think it's very timely, Mr. Chairman, because coming into, and hopefully we'll soon be going out of this COVID situation, many of us have experienced empty chairs at the dinner table, family. We've experienced the death of not only loved ones, but friends, neighbors, relatives. It's just hit all of us hard. All of our families have been adversely affected. So I think in this season where we've been faced with untimely deaths, we are faced with sadness in our families, what better time to emphasize family? So I wholeheartedly support this initiative, and I'm sure that it will be embraced, not only here in Leon County, where we have lost over 300 lives here in Leon County from COVID, and over 500,000 in the United States. So not only would Thanksgiving be a time of giving thanks, but the day after, we're going to embrace our families, and we're going to recognize the importance of families as we go through this pandemic. So thank you. Thank you again. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Cummings. Really appreciate it. Okay, we have a motion on the floor to accept option one, made by Commissioner Welch and seconded by Commissioner Cummings. All those in favor of the motion as written, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, the motion carries unanimously. Thank you all very much. Mr. Deputy County Administrator, next item, please.
Item 21, Commissioners, seeks the ratification of your preliminary actions taken at your March 23rd, 2021 workshop on affordable housing initiatives in Leon County. Staff's recommending options 1 and 2, and we have no speakers on the item.
Thank you, sir. We've got Commissioner Cummings and then Commissioner Maddox. Commissioner Cummings, ma'am. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, Commissioner Maddox.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think I might have been the one to make the motion actually on this one at our last meeting. I read through the agenda item, appreciate staff bringing it back. I think it was very detailed, right where we were looking on most of the points there. The one thing that I wanted to bring up and have a conversation about here is, as I looked at it, that point number 6, it talked specifically about the workshop. Though I do believe that homelessness is a big issue and a big continuum of care strategic plan is something that we need to discuss at some point. I think if you combine the two, one takes over the other. And I don't want to confuse the issues that we're going to have there with a conversation with homelessness when we're also talking about affordable housing. And so my suggestion or the motion I'm going to make is going to demand that we pull out the continuum of care strategic plan review to be a separate workshop versus combining the two, because I want us to be able to focus specifically on affordable housing, the policies within affordable housing, and how we may be able to change those policies to increase our stock of affordable housing within Leon County. As I rode around this weekend, what I saw was there are a lot of houses going up in Leon County. A lot of land being cleared for houses. That's inside the urban core or inside the urban services area. And as this building is happening, what I'm hoping to do is like I said, look at policy things. Is we can't affect the cost of materials. We can't do anything about that. What we can do is look at what we can do policy wise to help decrease the cost by decrease the prices by decreasing cost of housing development within our community. Also looking at percentages of affordable housing versus market rate housing within our neighborhoods, different policy things that we can look at. So the motion I will make is for option one modified to separate out the Big Bend Continuum Care Strategic Review. So the item will read, number 6 will read, direct the county administrator to work with the city manager to schedule a joint workshop that includes a discussion of the 2021 annual report to be produced by the Leon County and City of Tallahassee Affordable Housing Committee. So that would be the modification made to number 6 for option 1, and I will also move option 2. That's my motion, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Maddox. Commissioner Dozier. Oh, that's correct.
I will second.
Okay, seconds are made by Vice Chair Proctor on the motion. Thank you, Commissioner Maddox. Commissioner Dozier.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Picking up on Commissioner Maddox's motion first, Mr. Deputy County Administrator, I would envision this workshop would likely be about an hour and a half. That's what our typical workshop is scheduled for.
It could be, or it could be longer, pending, since we have both governing bodies together. You may want to take a little more time.
Okay. Commissioner Maddox, thank you. I just wonder if, I like the idea of separating the subjects. They're going to have 2 different groups of presenters at those workshops. Doing it on the same day might benefit us in the conversation, but also in scheduling. So I just wonder if we can, I don't think your motion prevents staff from looking at that as an option of scheduling it in the same day. Both are critical issues right now, and I would hate to schedule one and then have to wait a few months for the other one, whichever one might come first. So do you, as the maker of the motion, have any issue with staff at least looking at the potential of scheduling both in the same day?
I do. I really want to use that day to focus specifically on affordable housing. Now, if we do want to come back and have a conversation at some point, a joint workshop with the city on homelessness together, I mean, I'm willing to entertain the thought. I would actually prefer that we have that joint workshop after we make a decision on the funding for the funding request by the Kearney Center. But right now, I want to focus that day specifically on affordable housing. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner.
All right. Forgive me, Mr. Chair. I guess I'm a little bit confused. I thought the motion was to separate the 2 workshops, but still have both workshops. Your motion is to
My motion speaks specifically to affordable housing, but not speak to the continuum care workshop.
Okay. I can't get there with the motion then. I think the continuum of care homelessness workshop is critical. This is an issue we've been talking about it, and it's inextricably linked to the affordable housing question, even if it wasn't in the same day. I also doubt very much that either of those workshops are going to come before our May 27th budget, which is when we will consider other funding requests. So I think your concern about scheduling it after those requests come in, that will likely be the case anyhow. If you could accept a friendly amendment to keep on the table a joint workshop for homelessness with the BBCOC strategic plan, which mirrors what action the city took, looking for that joint workshop after the strategic plan, I could definitely support the motion. I don't want to lose that momentum, though, that we've been talking about since January.
Commissioner Maddox, I do know by being on the Big Bend COC board that the strategic plan for the Big Bend COC will be ready in late June, early July. If you would accept Commissioner Dozier's friendly amendment, basically to separate the 2 workshops, but maintain the idea that we're going to have a joint workshop on affordable housing, I would accept that, the motion, if you were to accept that friendly amendment.
I appreciate the attempt, but I will not. I think that the 2 issues themselves need to be separated. If you want to have that discussion later on, we can have that discussion, but I want to focus specifically on affordable housing, homelessness, We can talk about that another time. I want to focus this specifically on affordable housing. And even this motion itself, coming from the affordable housing workshop, I want to focus it specifically on affordable housing. Thank you.
Okay, so just so I understand, so you would not accept an amendment that would separate two workshops and then have two distinct workshops separately, not on the same day? You would not accept that as a friendly amendment? Okay, okay. Commissioner Dozier, you still have the floor.
This may be, I guess it's 6 of one, half dozen of another. I could do a substitute motion to bring it all back in. But Mr. Chair, if you'll come back to me after we dispense with this motion, then I will make a motion for that joint workshop to reaffirm our vote that we took and mirror what the city did. Thank you. So the other item, and Commissioner Maddox, you actually surprised me. I thought you were going to pick up on number 5 and not number 6, because that was part of our conversation at the workshop. So number 5 in this list is approve the continued support for, it's our previous action, but planning staff to be developing an inclusionary housing policy with recommendations. Mr. Deputy County Administrator, given the conversation that we had during the workshop, I would like to ask for an agenda item to come back to look at the inclusionary housing policies in general, the status of them. I don't know if we should be moving forward with this type of policy if we have other options, and I would hate to waste staff time. I'm sure you all have already worked on it a good bit. If the board were to choose to go in a different direction. I'm struggling with this a little bit because I don't know the timing of bringing back that policy. If you're going to bring it back very soon, then you've already accomplished a lot of the work, and maybe this agenda item is not necessary.
Mr. Chairman, that timing would actually be tied to the whole update that we're going on, so it's not immediate. It would be several months, if not a year away from now when we bring back all of the information. So if you want something sooner, by all means, we can bring a status report and agenda item and seek board direction at that point.
Thank you. For the maker of the motion, and Commissioner Maddox, we spoke to this question during the workshop. Would you accept a friendly amendment to bring an agenda item back to us looking at the scope of a general scope of inclusionary housing policy, the effectiveness, and if we have other options before our staff moves forward in developing that policy?
I'll accept that amendment.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, seeing no other discussion, the motion made by Commissioner Maddox, as stated by Commissioner Maddox, seconded by, who seconded? Vice Chair Proctor. All those in favor of the motion as stated, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. And then Commissioner Dozier, I think you're in the speaker queue, correct?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I won't belabor the point, but I'll make a motion to schedule a joint workshop to discuss the Big Bend Continuum of Care strategic plan and homelessness in general, which mirrors City of Tallahassee, the Commission's action to hold the same type of workshop.
Second.
Thank you.
Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion as stated by Commissioner Dozier, seconded by myself, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much, you all. Mr. Deputy County Administrator, next item, please.
Commissioners, item number 22 provides a status report on the CRA's recent actions related to the Arts, Culture, and Heritage Grant Program and seeks board approval to award $1 million for the purchase and renovation of an adjacent building to serve as the new Education Center and Museum. Commissioners, this action is consistent with previous direction provided by the board. We're recommending options 1 and 2, and we do have 2 speakers, Commissioners. We have 1 virtual and 1 in person.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Deputy County Administrator. Would you please introduce the first speaker?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair. For the County Attorney, I think I need to recuse myself before we get started on this item. Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a direct conflict. I have family employed at Lemoyne and a lot of family who volunteers there. So I will be recusing myself from the discussion and the vote on this item.
Okay, thank you very much, Commissioner Dozier. Appreciate it. First speaker.
Our first in-person speaker is Mr. Paul Kraft.
Mr. Kraft, thank you for being here, sir. Please state your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm Paul Kraft, and my voice is going with pollen. I apologize. 3582 Velda Woods Drive, Tallahassee, Florida, and I am president of the Lemoyne Art Foundation. I'll be very brief. I just want to ask that you please, please, please accept the staff recommendation. And what we're asking really is that you approve both the scope change previously approved by the city and the CRA, and approve the release of the funding, which the CRA, the city, and the county commission approved back in 2018. If you do that, we are poised to move forward, get our project under the way. If it fails to pass, frankly, we're going to lose a tremendous once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do something really nice for Tallahassee. So thank you for allowing me to speak, and thank you for all the hard work you do.
Thank you for joining us, Mr. Kraft. Thank you for being here. Next speaker, please.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, we have one virtual speaker, Jamelia Curitin.
Jamila, please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes.
The caller has dropped off the line.
Okay. Mr. Deputy County Administrator, does that conclude the number of speakers to speak on this item?
Yes, sir. There are no other speakers.
Okay. In the speakers queue, we have Commissioner Maddox and then Commissioner Jackson. Mr. Maddox.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We all remember this item. We had a great conversation about it. I will go ahead and make the motion for options 1 and option 2. Thanking the City Commission and CRA for taking the direction to take a second look at this and really give TLH Arts the opportunity to revise their proposal, send it back, and I guess we'll be getting the results from that back later on, but the right thing to do was to go ahead and release that $1 million for Lemoyne. So we know that you'll do what you're supposed to do with it, and we congratulate you on the $1 million and look forward to seeing what it produces. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, motion's been made for staff recommendation options 1 and 2 by Commissioner Maddox, seconded by Commissioner Cummings. Any other speakers in the queue? All right, seeing none, let's move on to the vote. All those in favor of the motion by Commissioner Maddox, seconded by Commissioner Cummings for staff recommendation, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, the motion carries unanimously with the exception of Commissioner Dozier, who has abstained, so that's 6-0. Okay, Commissioner Dozier.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Since we probably have a lot of folks from Lemoyne watching and in the room, thank you both. I wanted to take this opportunity. This is something I was going to say in comment time. We are in between the Word of South Festival, which I mentioned earlier, and Lemoyne's Shannon Park's Art Festival coming up this weekend. And I just wanted to thank this board for our unanimous support of moving forward with festival funding this year. These festivals are going to look and feel different, but I firmly believe these and Red Hills and the others, this will help sustain them into the future. And I am so impressed by the amount of work that has gone into keeping these events safe for all of our community. So I want to thank everyone who has gone, Red Hills, Word of South, others, and good luck to Lemoyne on a great festival this weekend. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Dozier. Moving on to the next agenda item, Mr. Deputy County Administrator, would you please introduce it?
Item number 23, Commissioners. To advance the approved FY 2017, FY 2021 strategic initiative to create a Citizens North Monroe Street Task Force, this item requests the board adopt a resolution actually establishing the task force. Commissioners, once convened, the task force will meet over the summer or fall, and we anticipate bringing a report back to the board in December. Option number 1 is being recommended, and we have no speakers on the line at the time.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy County Administrator. Looking forward to having this come back to us. Commissioner Maddox.
Thank you on your behalf, Mr. Chair, because I know this is something that's very important to you. I'll make the motion for option number 1 to establish the task force.
Thank you, sir. I'll second. Commissioner Cummings?
Actually, another piece of it, I think that as we look at these task forces, I think we need to be very strategic about how we place them. I know each district, and every district is mine and Commissioner Cummings, but each district has something within it that could demand itself to have a task force. I do think that what you have going on in North Monroe Street and how long we've been having a conversation warrants that, but I can also say that Commissioner Proctor, there's a lot within your district that can demand a task force, and Commissioner Jackson, you as well, out there on Highway 20 and maybe even the speed limit and things like that could demand its own task force. So as we think about how we place these things strategically, let's make sure that we're very particular, very detailed about what exactly we're asking for within the task force that we're asking for. And I think you have done that, Mr. Chair. I think you have, and I appreciate your leadership on it. And we'll gladly and happily support the item. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Maddox. So the motion on the, I see no other speakers in the queue, so the motion on the table made by Commissioner Maddox for option 1, seconded by Commissioner Cummings. All in favor of the motion as stated, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, the motion carries unanimously. Thank you all very much. Next item, please.
Mr. Chairman, the next 4 items are some standard bids for the commission to consider. So item number 25 is the approval to award the bid for the asphaltic concrete materials and services, our continuing supply contract for the resurfacing of county-maintained roads, the lowest responsive bidder, Capital Asphalt, Inc. The item has been budgeted and adequate funding is available, and staff is recommending option 1, and we have no speakers on the item, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Commissioner Maddox.
Thank you. For public consumption, Mr. Deputy Administrator, and I have read it in the item, but I want to make sure that we put it out for public and on record. Did this company meet the MWBE requirement?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. What was that requirement, if you remember?
I don't remember offhand, but it was probably in the 16 and 9% range.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the information. Again, I just want to make, as we're focusing on making sure that our MWBE program is, as Commissioner Pratt like to say, tight and right. When we come across these kind of items, and Commissioner Pratt is usually the one to ask about this, and I appreciate your leadership on it. I will be asking to make sure that we have met our MWBE requirements, and how many times we'll be able to say that we have not been able to find a company that can satisfy. And the reason I'm going to bring that to our attention is because there are a lot of minorities out there that could be taking up the opportunity to start companies that can assist if they can find the funding capacity with satisfying these MWBE goals. And I want to make that a community thing that we express to our community, that if you're looking for a job, or if you're looking for a way to make income, we do put out contracts where our primaries have to find subs, and sometimes they can't find a sub. Go learn that trade and be a sub for us, so we can satisfy every single time that we have a contract out, so we can satisfy our MWBE requirement. I'll make that motion for option number 1 and thank the company for being able to satisfy the MWBE requirement. Thank you, sir.
Great. Thank you, Commissioner Maddox. And, you know, I've been paying attention to what Vice Chair Proctor and yourself have been saying over the last several years. I actually made a note here to point out that this vendor, Capital Asphalt, had met the requirements of the MWBE goals. So thank you for bringing that up, sir. All those in favor of the motion made, is there a second on the motion? Seconded by Commissioner Welch. Thank you. All those in favor of the motion for option 1 as stated by Commissioner Maddox, seconded by Commissioner Welch, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you all very much. Next item, please.
Item number 26, Commissioners, an approval to award the bid for the construction of the Appalachia Regional Park entrance project to the lowest responsive bidder, Sheffield Building Specialties. Staff is recommending option 1 and option 2, and we have no speakers on the item, sir.
All right. I have in the speakers queue Commissioner Dozier. Commissioner Dozier.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I am very excited to keep this project moving forward. And in your task force roundup there, Commissioner Maddox, I'm sure, I know there are people in District 5 who have asked for task force as well, but I think we should be strategic about it. So I wanted to make that comment. This is a great opportunity for District 5, but for our entire county and our region. And I'm really glad the work at Appalachia Regional Park is continuing. So I will make a motion for options 1 and 2, Mr. Chair.
All right, thank you very much. Motion's been made for options 1 and 2 for item number 26, made by Commissioner Dozier, seconded by Commissioner Maddox. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next item, please.
Item number 27, Commissioners, is to approve to utilize a cooperative purchasing agreement to execute a purchase order to purchase 2 new ambulances. Leon County EMS, of course, replaces ambulances each year to the continuous high usage. This item has been budgeted and adequate funding is available. Staff is recommending option 1, and we have no speakers on the item, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, who said that? Commissioner Welch seconded the motion for, or made the motion for option 1. Is there a second? I'm sorry. No, Commissioner Welch made it. Okay. I had my head down, and with the masks, I can't tell where the sound's coming from. So Commissioner Welch made the motion, correct? Commissioner Maddox made it, I'll make it. Okay. All right. So Commissioner Welch made the motion, seconded by Commissioner Maddox. All in favor of the motion as stated, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Next item, please.
Commissioners, item number 28 is to approve an amendment to the agreement with Avenue Government Systems for our 3-year renewal to maintain and support our financial systems, the Banner system. Funds are included in the adopted budget to support this payment. We're recommending option 1, and there are no speakers on the item.
All right. Motion has been made by Commissioner Dozier for staff recommendation, seconded by Commissioner Maddox. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much. Next item, please.
Commissioners, item 29 is your appointments item. Would you like me to facilitate the options?
Yes, please. Yes.
Commissioners, we have 6 appointments for you this evening. In option 1, we recommend the appointment of 1 of the recommended citizens to the appointment of the Advisory Committee for Quality Growth. There are 2 eligible applicants, Barbara Clark and Dr. Stephen Karasik.
Commissioner Maddox, are you in the queue? Or is that from the last item?
Mr. Chair, if we can go a bit out of order, I actually wanted to look at the MWBE. I have some appointments there, and also for the Sports Council because I'm your appointee on the Sports Council.
Okay.
For MWBE, I would like to make the motion for Lanisha Thornton and Christy Hale Sparkman. And if we would take those one at a time, Mr. Chair, I'll make the Sports Council appointment after you.
Sure. So motion on option 4, as stated by Commissioner Maddox and seconded by Commissioner Dozier. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair. Let's see. Sports Council. Make a motion for Judy Alexander and Jason Pappas. Again, they have performed very well on the committee and been present and accounted for, and I'd like to reappoint those as they requested. So.
Okay. Motion made by Commissioner Maddox on the appointees, seconded by Commissioner Welch. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Commissioner Maddox, any others?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. Commissioner Dozier.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I was focused on the the Quality Growth Committee. And this is for our archaeologist representative. I really want to thank Ms. Julie Duggins, who is leaving that committee. She was our first archaeologist, who, after we talked a lot about the issue of finding historical artifacts on our job sites, we added that position, and she was the first. So I really appreciate her service. I think both of these candidates actually look quite good, and if someone else has a recommendation, forgive me, I would be willing to entertain that, but I'm going to make a motion for Ms. Clark to be appointed.
Okay. Motion under option 1 for Ms. Clark, made by Ms. Dozier, seconded by Commissioner Maddox. All in favor of the motion as stated, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Mr. Chair, I actually did have another one.
All right. Commissioner Dozier, are you finished, ma'am? Okay. Commissioner Maddox.
As your appointee to the Affordable Housing Committee, I guess this is just my day. Affordable Housing, MWBE, and Sports Council. Elias Mathis is your only appoint or applicant for that seat. I'd like to make a motion for him. And also, Greg Cowan is doing a great job. I'm actually your appointee and chair to the Value Adjustment Board. Greg Cowan is doing a great job there, and I'd like to reappoint him. So for item number 6, Greg Cowan, and for option number 2, Elias Mathis.
All right. Motion made by Commissioner Maddox on options 6 and 2 for those appointees, seconded by Commissioner Welch. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Commissioner Maddox, or Commissioners, I think we have one option we have not dealt with yet, number 3. Which should be an easy one. Yeah. All right. Motion has been made for option 3 for the appointee stated by Commissioner Maddox, seconded by Commissioner Dozier. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. And I believe that takes care of all of the options. Am I correct, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Deputy County Administrator? All right, next item, please.
That completes your general business agenda, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, well, in that case, let us move on to comments and discussion items. Madam County Attorney, or should you? For the record, let me just make sure. Mr. Deputy County Administrator, do we have any citizens to be heard on non-agenda items?
No, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Moving on. Next, we have items from the County Attorney. Madam County Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I have 3 matters for discussion with the board this evening. One involves the proposed and recommended settlement of some litigation involving a slip and fall at one of the county facilities. Mediation occurred a week ago yesterday. Our insurer Travelers has been footing the bill for the defense costs and would be paying the full cost of settlement in the amount of $62,500. I recommend board approval of that settlement.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Commissioner Maddox.
Thank you. You said you recommend board approval, Madam Attorney?
That's correct.
I'll make a motion for staff approval.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Maddox, seconded by Commissioner Welch for staff approval. All those in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Madam County Attorney?
Thank you. So the second matter entails just a authorization to publish a public hearing at either the May meeting or the June meeting. And this is as follow-up to the sixth, it was the Sixth Amendment to the Southwood DRIDO, where the board denied the request to amend the DRIDO. Mr. Cheney did elect to proceed under an alternative dispute resolution process under Section 70.51. That hearing before the special magistrate, it was retired Judge Bateman, who served as a special magistrate, occurred last Friday. As follow-up, statutorily, Judge Bateman will have 14 days to issue a recommended order. And at that time, this board will then have 45 days statutorily within which to consider that recommended order and take final action. So depending on what is in Judge Bateman's recommended order, hasn't been issued yet, staff would prepare an analysis, publish that notice of that public hearing, and bring that back to the board for action at either the May meeting or the June meeting. So again, requesting authorization to schedule that public hearing in either May or June.
Okay, Commissioner Cummings has made a motion for staff recommendation, seconded by Commissioner Dozier. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Madam County Attorney.
Okay, so the last one relates to an opinion that was issued by the First District Court of Appeal this past Friday. It was in the consolidated cases, State of Florida versus City of Weston. To give the board a very brief history of this case and the county's involvement. Back in 1987, the legislature enacted a law, Section 790.033, which effectively preempted the field of regulation of firearms and ammunition. Okay, that happened in 1987. In response to some action by some local governments to continue to adopt regulations in those fields, the legislature amended that statute in 2011 to include some penalties and remedies in those instances where local governments continue to try to regulate firearms and ammunition. Okay, as a result of those amendments, and it basically applies to any person, county, agency, municipality, district, or other entity that occupies the field of firearms and ammunition regulations, Courts were authorized to invalidate those regulations and enjoin any enforcement of those. If the violations were determined to be knowing and willful, courts were authorized and are authorized to impose civil fines of up to $5,000 against the individuals. If, again, it was knowing and willful, there was a prohibition, and there is a prohibition, against the use of any public funds for the defense or reimbursement of payment of those civil fines. There was also a provision that involved authority to terminate an employment or contract or removal from office by the governor. And any person adversely affected was statutorily authorized to file suit and was entitled to injunctive relief, attorney's fees and costs with contingency fee multipliers, and actual damages not to exceed $100,000. So a number of cases were filed to challenge those provisions of the amended statute. Back in 2018, I believe it was June of 2018, this board authorized the county attorney's office to become involved in that litigation to challenge those penalties and remedies. We did so by joining with Broward County, which had a pending case. There were a number of cases that were ultimately consolidated here in the Second Circuit before Judge Dodson. Judge Dodson rendered an opinion that basically it enabled the local governments and the individuals who were seeking to invalidate those penalties and remedies on basically legislative and governmental immunity grounds, basically determined that most of those provisions were not constitutional. Okay, the state, the governor, and some other parties appealed that decision to the First District Court of Appeal. That opinion was issued last Friday. It overturned the trial court's decision. So most of those penalties remain in place, and they are lawful, and they are enforceable against local governments and local government officials. Question has come up whether the local governments and those representatives who've been involved in that litigation want to request that the First District and basically petition the First District Court of Appeal to certify the issue to the Supreme Court as one of great public importance. So the question I have for you today is whether you want to authorize the county attorney's office to join in filing that petition at the First District Court of Appeal to again certify the question of legislative and governmental immunity, either one, to the Florida Supreme Court as an issue of great public importance. Understanding that if the First District Court of Appeal does so, it doesn't have to, it's discretionary jurisdiction at the Florida Supreme Court level, and the Florida Supreme Court level would not be obligated to take the case. Happy to answer any questions the board has.
Thank you, Madam County Attorney. I've got Commissioner Maddox, Jackson, Commissioner Jackson, Commissioner Dozier, and then Commissioner Cummings.
Mr. Chair, I was in line. I just did it because you said my name.
Okay.
All right. I think Commissioner Dozier, myself, and Commissioner Proctor were actually the commissioners that were here when we actually had that conversation. Commissioner Proctor and I actually voted against some of them because, I mean, it was almost like they forced your hand. Like, either you did it or you were going to be fine. And I thought the things that we had on the books were very sensible. It was like no shooting across roadways, no shooting in parks. I mean, it was things that, quite frankly, I think were no-brainers when it came to having any kind of regulation at all. And so I think you start encroaching on not just home rule stuff. And I understand we are exempt, are prohibited from creating regulations in that way, but you also really start messing with our freedoms as elected officials and being able to do our job. So I would make the motion to give the county attorney the authorization to move forward with what you just spoke of, and hope that this ruling that happened stays in place. I think it sets a very dangerous precedent for what the state can do to us if we don't do what they've asked or demanded that we do. So I want to move forward. I want you to move forward with that, with your recommendation or with the case. Thank you.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Maddox, seconded by Commissioner Dozier. We've got next in the queue, we've got Commissioner Dozier. I'm sorry, Commissioner Jackson, and then Dozier and Cummings. Commissioner Jackson.
Yeah, I want to make it clear. I don't think it's so much the subject matter as it is the threat to local officials making decisions that are best for the people at the point of touch. In fact, quite possibly, if it were up to me and I was on the board at that time, I may not have joined simply because of a difference in opinion, but that doesn't matter. I think what's more important here is the threat that it presents to home rule and, again, local government officials being connected to what matters most. The only question I have for you, Madam Attorney, is there an estimated, I know this is probably not possible, but is there an estimated cost incurred for that action?
Madam County Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioner Jackson, the County Attorney's Office has staffed the county's involvement in this case from the beginning. It's anticipated we would continue to do so, so there would not be any costs associated with hiring outside counsel for that.
Very well, then I'll support the motion as seconded. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Jackson. I've got Commissioner Dozier and then Commissioner Cummings.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good comments, Commissioner Maddox and Commissioner Jackson. And that's one of the things I was going to mention that I think is really significant here. I'm forgetting the number of preemption bills that we now have in the legislature. We know these come up every year. I think President McKinley mentioned that earlier today. It is about those penalties and how extreme a reaction and focus on us as individuals as well as a policymaking body. That was something that was extraordinary, and I don't believe we've seen it come up in any of the other preemption bills, of which, again, there are many. So you and I may have disagreed on some of the policy points, but I think we should be able to have that debate here locally. To Commissioner Maddox's point, these rules were not firing, as you said, across a road. That's just basic common sense, it seems like. So I very much appreciate, Madam County Attorney, you and your staff's work on this, and of all the other counties who are participating, and I fully support the motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Dozier. Commissioner Cummings.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wasn't clear. I know we've joined, I believe you said with Broward and some other counties. I wasn't clear if the recommendation from the county attorney was to try to appeal that decision. But that was your recommendation, or I guess
Madam County
I understood you just wanted direction from the county.
Correct. I do recommend that we appeal. I will tell you that the attorneys involved on behalf of the parties are still trying to figure out the scope of and how to articulate or fashion the express question. Commissioner Cummings, you'll understand so much as how you ask the question. So the scope of the question to be certified is still being decided, but weighing all the merits, it is, I think, worthwhile given the tone and the outcome and the potential impact to local officials that the board authorized the county attorney's continued involvement.
Okay. Yeah. May I have a follow-up?
Yes, Commissioner Cummings.
Right. I understand that Judge Dotson was reversed by the First District Court of Appeal. Okay, where we are now, my question is there any exposure financially? And if so, potentially what? What's the potential exposure if we seek an appeal to the Supreme Court? They could refuse it. They could just, I guess, procurium affirm the First District Court of Appeal. They could refuse to accept it at all. So at this level, what is the potential exposure if we seek an appeal to the Supreme Court? What's the potential exposure?
Madam County Attorney.
If they accept it and affirm the First District Court of Appeal.
Madam County Attorney.
Even if this county doesn't appeal, I'm confident that some other municipalities, counties, some of their representatives and the individual who's been involved in the litigation so far may move forward with the appeal or the request for a certification to the Florida Supreme Court anyway. So I think that will play out the way it's going to play out, honestly, regardless of whether the county continues to be involved. I think the request is going to be made. Whether or not the Florida Supreme Court takes it and issues an opinion on it, I'm not sure. In terms of exposure, personally to the Leon County commissioners, there's no personal exposure, given that we do not currently have any ordinances that in any way regulate guns or ammunitions. None of that would be implicated by Section 790.033. And any monetary costs associated with proceeding, again, would just be absorbed into the county attorney's office. We would use our own resources for that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Cummings. Seeing no other speakers in the queue, all in favor as a motion as made by Commissioner Maddox and then seconded by Commissioner Dozier, is that correct? Okay, all in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Anything else, Madam County Attorney?
No, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Mr. Deputy County Administrator.
Well, I have nothing, sir.
I just learned a few minutes ago that Mr. Rosenweig has actually been Deputy County Administrator for 11 years, and this is the very first time he has served in the County Administrator's role during a meeting, during a County Commission meeting. So if you don't mind, I'd like to ask, let's give a hand for a job well done. I had to do that. 11 years, first time.
Mr. Chair, I'm not only going to give a hand, I'm going to make a note that this is the first time since we've come back from COVID that we've gotten to commission discussion prior to lunch. And I'm giving you the credit for that.
It's magic. You got it. You got it.
Tell Vince to step it up.
All right. All right. Thank you, sir, very much. Job well done, sir. Okay, items for discussion by county commissioners. Let's see. Vice Chair Proctor, would like to start, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, I asked this body tonight if you would consider a resolution coming from our body sent to the Florida legislature, which is considering a bill that would actively suppress voting. It would nullify, and certainly it would modify mail-in voting. It would ban drop the box and other limitations imposed. As you all have noted, democracy is under attack. As you heard previously, the Florida Association of Counties president admonished us earlier today that our county ain't no small itty-bitty county, and that our county carries weight. The president said, if we have weight, I would ask this body and offer the motion that we would utilize our weight and weigh in against House Bill 1, I believe it is, the one that's seeking to oppress, suppress, and turn back the hands of time against the rights that have been secured under the 19th Amendment, the 26th Amendment, the 15th Amendment, the 65 Voting Rights Act, and all things voting in America. We have weight, and I'm asking us to use that weight for resolution against that measure that's now a ticking time bomb. Thank you.
On point, Vice Chair Proctor, I know what your answer is going to be, but just for the record, you are talking about the federal legislation, correct?
In Florida, there's a bill floating right now that mirrors Georgia. The federal legislation is one that we would support, which is the John Lewis Act. We would actually support the federal, but the one in the Florida legislature is one that we would actually oppose.
Yeah.
Point of clarification? I actually would support a motion for a resolution on House Bill 1. I would do that. But there's other pieces. I think what you're talking about, what you're referring to, Commissioner Dozier just help me out, is Senate Bill 90, which is, in fact, does speak to what you're saying too, and House Bill 7041.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, 7041. So actually, when we just put it all in there, that a resolution, Commissioner Partner, with your permission, speaking against House Bill 1, which is about protest, and Senate Bill 90, House Bill 7041. I'll second that motion.
Thank you. And if we do both of those, and I got those numbers confused, the federal is HB 1. That's the John Lewis. And you say the Florida is what, 90?
Florida is Senate Bill 90 and House Bill 7041.
Okay, and that's about the protest.
No, House Bill 1 is about protest. Senate Bill 90 and House Bill 7041 is about voting.
Okay, so we got both of those. All right, thank you. That's all.
All right, so
I'll second that.
you second the motion. Okay, motion made by Vice Chair Proctor, seconded by Commissioner Maddox. Does anyone need to have the motion restated? Okay, all those in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion carries unanimously. Vice Chair Proctor.
That's all, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir, very much. Commissioner Maddox.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to say, job well done, Deputy County Administrator. I do mean, first time in 11 years, man, you have led the ship well. We even asked you a couple questions. You jumped right in there, man. It was impressive. It was impressive. I mean, it was impressive. You suit and tie, looking sharp, boy. I'm so impressed. I got to take this opportunity. It's the only thing I got to say besides good job to our Deputy County Administrators. Today is my oldest daughter's 14th birthday. 14 years ago, I had a child. Oh, my God. And I want to tell Nyla Maddox, happy birthday. She'll be a high schooler next year. She'll be attending Rickers High School in their IB program for the first couple of years, and then she's going to do dual enrollment for the last. Hoping to be a golden girl. I'm so proud of her, but I just want to take the opportunity to tell my baby girl, my first baby girl, happy birthday. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Amen. Thank you, Commissioner Maddox. Commissioner Dozier.
Happy birthday indeed to Nyla. It's quite amazing. I remember her on county floats when she was 5, right? And congratulations to her parents, too. Having a lot of fun with our Deputy County Administrator, as deserved here. Also want to recognize, so nice job, of course, but this is the first meeting that our county administrator has missed, I believe, in 26 years, and that is significant. Excellent reasons, and good luck to the Lom family, but that just really stood out to me, that our county administrator Long has not missed a meeting in 26 years. So appreciate the teamwork and keeping our business moving forward. So with that, Mr. Chair, I only have one item. I know we're trying to keep presentations short. I've talked to the Deputy County Administrator about this, so I don't have a date specific for this, but I would like to request a presentation from the KCCI team working on Art of the Box. You might have seen the wrappings they're doing on the utility boxes around town. They've got a lot of other ideas with this project presented to the COCA board, and both Commissioner Matlow, who is the city's representative on the board, and myself agreed to request presentations to our joint boards, which is going to happen at the city. So with that, my motion would be to have a presentation from the KCCI team, Art of the Box.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
Any discussion on the motion? Made by Commissioner Dozier, seconded by myself. All those in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much. Anything else, Commissioner Dozier?
The very last thing is I was really focused with the events earlier on those that receive funding through our Visit Tallahassee and TDC grants. I also want to recognize the incredible work by our staff to host the Sustainability Summit in a very unique way. I've heard a lot of great feedback. I think I saw actually in a tweet that there was the highest attendance we've had, and I really just want to compliment Deputy County Administrator. the work of our sustainability team and everyone else who participated with that, and thank the community for coming out. It was a great way to continue the momentum despite not being able to gather for a large one-day conference. So thank you.
Great.
That's it, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Jackson, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I don't know if this needs to be an agenda item or not. It is part of the discussion regarding homelessness, and that is a couple of properties, 2200 West Pensacola Street, the brand new T-Mobile property at Capitol Circle and Tennessee Street have become, I guess, unlicensed homeless camps. And I don't know if homeless camps in general will be a part of that discussion, but if not, I would want to include that when we have our workshop and then subsequent discussions. I don't mean to make your job any more difficult after all the accolades, Deputy County Administrator, but I guess that would be captured in the discussion at that time.
We can include that information as part of the homelessness workshop.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And yes, I think that we should probably change all the key codes for Administrator Long when he returns, and he will fumble around this place and have to contact you to be able to get into all the secret spots for business.
How do you know he doesn't already?
I did want to have just a moment of personal privilege, much like Commissioner Maddox. I wanted to personally pay my thanks to everyone on the dais here who has reached out to our family during a difficult loss of my mother over the weekend. She was 85 years old, and I want to pay tribute to Jane Jackson, who is the reason why I do what I do. She was the toughest and hardest working woman I've ever known. And it was not a joke, but it was a running story with Deputy Administrator Rosenzweig and Administrator Long. She had several rallies. I would leave a meeting in haste and get to the hospital, and the doctors would predict impending doom. And then 2 days later, I'd walk in, and she was asking me where was her breakfast and when was she going home. But a remarkably tough woman who lost a courageous battle, not only to the virus, but a multitude of other physical ailments. And I would just, I want to again extend my thanks for each of you reaching out to me in your own personal way. It means the world to me to be supported by the people that I work with and that we govern with. And I can't thank you all enough. So a tribute to Jane Jackson. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Jackson. Commissioner Cummings.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Commissioner Jackson, you certainly, you and your family have my condolences and my prayers, as you know, from all the members on the dais. Oh, and Commissioner Maddox, I want to say I'm a big supporter of the IB program at Rickards. My son attended, pre-IB and IB program at Rickards and attended University of Florida, I guess as a sophomore. And it's a great, great program. So I applaud you, tell your daughter, happy birthday. But in keeping with Commissioner Proctor's motion regarding resolutions, Senate Bill 90 and House Bill 7441, I think we are aware that recently the city of Tallahassee passed an initiative to give its employees Election Day as a holiday. And I'm not sure how popular that would be right now coming off Mr. Sachs' recommendation about the day after Thanksgiving being adopted as Family Day. But I would like to ask Mr. Chairman, a move, if I can, for the county administration to look at the feasibility of Election Day being a holiday for the county employees, similar to what the city has recommended for its employees, because I believe we clearly need to support democracy. There are efforts all over this country to have a chilling effect on the ability of individuals to vote and be involved in the democratic process. And plus, I don't want city government to outdo county government. but I would move for, if the staff could bring back an agenda item on that particular proposal, that county employees be allowed a holiday for Election Day.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Cummings. Could I ask you a quick question? Would that agenda item under your motion include an estimate on the voter turnout percentage of county employees? Because I think that might be a factor in the agenda item. Just as best as we can, try to estimate. I have no idea if that's even possible, but that should be part of the. Mr. Deputy County Administrator, do you have anything to?
We can look into the data set and see if it's available.
I guess I didn't understand your question, but it was the staff recommendation, that's why I'm asking that.
Well, I think the motion on the floor has been made and seconded for sure, and I plan on supporting it. But I wanted to see if it was possible without compromising privacy rights to get an estimate, a rough general estimate on the percent turnout among county employees.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
For example, I'm making an extreme example, but let's say 95% of county employees historically have voted in the primary and general elections. Well, in that case, if we're looking at the financial impact of this and the foregoing an extra day of work for county employees, in my mind, looking at data, that is a consideration we should make. Now, is it 95% turnout? Surely not. But somewhere there's got to be a number.
So that would just be part of the county, staff analysis that they would bring back to us.
To the extent that it can.
Right.
So,
yes, sir.
Okay, any other discussion on the motion? Commissioner Dozier.
Mr. Chair, first, Commissioner Cummings, thank you for bringing this up. I'm happy to support it, and I think bringing back an agenda item is appropriate because there would be a fiscal impact. I'm getting a little squeamish about looking at county, employees turnout. I'm not sure if we could find that data, but it could ebb and flow. Turnout varies between gubernatorial years and presidential years, so I'm just a little bit concerned about that. But I would say, and Mr. Deputy County Administrator, if you can help me with this a little bit, our county staff, we don't, and I wouldn't assume we hear from them on policy issues necessarily. I respect that, and we have the firewall and everything like that. This is an issue that I really wouldn't mind hearing from our workforce to see if they really support this. Nationally, I would love to see Election Day moved outside of a work day. This is an issue that really does impact a lot of people across the country. So, Commissioner Cummings, I'm not sure if we can do anything to solicit input from county employees, but if our staff were to find a way to do that, Mr. Deputy County Administrator, would that be the appropriate way to kind of frame that?
I could make excuse me, Mr. Chairman, I make an assumption right now, I'm making a leap that if we offer county employees a paid day off, I think I know the survey results now.
Okay, good point. We will leave the good motion by Commissioner Cummings as is. Excellent point. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner Dozier. Commissioner Maddox, are you on the queue, sir?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I think Commissioner Dozier said it correctly, and I don't know if it was approved to be a part, but I'm real hesitant about that employee turnout piece of it. I would ask that we not involve that in the item. and that we focus specifically on just the paid day off for our employees on voting day. And I look forward to not only hearing but supporting the item, as I think it is, again, a great idea. And thank you for bringing it to us, Commissioner Cummings. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Maddox. And just to be clear, I'm going to support the motion. I think I would like to have this come back to us. And I definitely want to just be very clear. I want to respect the voting rights of county employees and the privacy related to voting. So I understand that. I think we've already spoken about the agenda item itself and taking the analysis of that consideration. So I just want to be very clear that I'm not asking us to get some type of analysis of who votes and who doesn't within the county workforce. All those in favor of the motion as stated by Commissioner Cummings and seconded by Commissioner Dozier, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Anything else, Ms.?
Just finally, Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to thank Mr. Alan Rosenwig and his staff for doing such a great job. He did a great job today, but as usual, they always provide us the background, the information that we need to make informed decisions for the citizens of Leon County. And I just give accolades to the county administrator, the assistant county administrator, the staff, and also our county attorney as well. Thank you all.
Thank you, Commissioner Cummings. Commissioner Welch.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think we should change the nameplate outside Alan's office to Deft County Administrator instead of Deputy. Thank you guys so much. I wanted just a couple quick things. I wanted to say thank you to this board and the previous boards for your work on the Bradfordville Volunteer Fire Department that was recently opened up on County Road 12 in my district. I think that's a great piece of public policy, a great piece of public work there, a partnership with Tall Timbers and those folks to get that done and serving about 500 extra homes up there, so thank you. I've got a couple of requests related to traffic. As you guys may have seen or read, Childs High School experienced, the tragedy you never want to have happen. We had a couple of freshmen die in a car accident on Meridian Road. I'd like to ask staff if they could bring back, or ask you all if we could bring back an agenda item to address some of the safety concerns, specifically with the stretch of Meridian Road right there near Summerbrook where this accident happened. There are some elevation changes to the road. There's some curves in the road. It's extremely dark at night. It's just a particularly dangerous stretch of road. I don't know what that means, but I'd like to see the options, whether it's lighting or guardrails or something right there to try and protect folks. So I'd like to make a motion I'd like to ask for that agenda item.
I'll second that.
Okay.
All those in favor of the motion as stated by Commissioner Welch, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries unanimously.
And then the last thing I've got real quick is Proctor Road. And I know that this board in previous iterations has looked at Proctor Road, the unpaved western portion of Proctor Road in my district. It is a rural area and the road is maintained by the county, but after it rains particularly, it gets very sloppy, and we had some folks stuck in the mud this past week with the heavy rains that we had. I wanted to also ask staff if they could bring back some options for how we can address some of the traffic problems or some of the road condition problems on Proctor Road. So I know paving is an option, but I would also like to investigate less expensive options, whether that be resurfacing with something that doesn't get as slick, or just whatever options we have to mitigate the conditions on Proctor Road for those homeowners on the west end of Proctor Road. So I'd like to make a motion for that.
Thank you, Commissioner Welch. Motion's been made by Commissioner Welch and seconded by Commissioner Maddox. All those in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, motion carries unanimously. Anything else, sir?
No, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. I'll be as quick as I can. I know we've got 10 minutes between now and the joint meeting. I got my second dose of vaccine today. My wife is scheduled for next week. Just anybody out there that's listening, please get vaccinated. It's painless. It's very quick. It's easy. And just wanted to mention that. I've got I've never done this many. I've got a request for 4 proclamations. Let me go through them, and if everyone, there's no objection, I'd like to maybe see if someone have a motion for one motion for all 4. One is for a Bike Month for May 2021. One is the Best and Brightest Awards to Leon County graduating seniors, which is something I think is done every year. It's organized by World Class Schools of Leon County. The number 3 is a proclamation congratulating FSU President John Thrasher on his upcoming retirement. And then number 4 would be a proclamation for Mr. Lee Mortimer, who has been serving on the Big Bend Honor Guard since its inception. He's a 30-year veteran of TPD, and he's been, as I said, a member of the Big Bend Honor Guard since it began. All right. Thank you very much. A motion's been made for those 4 proclamations and seconded by Commissioner Maddox, seconded by Commissioner Dozier. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Thank you all very much. And that's all I had. Is there a motion to adjourn? Actually, I spoke with Madam County Attorney. Since we have a joint meeting at 6 o'clock, this is actually the conclusion of our County Commission business. Motion to adjourn, seconded by, all right, all in favor? Aye. All right. Thank you all very much.
Rolf's back there.
And then please go to the kitchen for a quick snack before we start.